Wait. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I know how to operate my scenes.
I'm proud of you. I'm really, really proud of you.
Trying my best here. And welcome, Demon Chuckle and Fortuitous Piano. Thank you for the follows. I'm joined here today by the wonderful Zia Zenos, who is going to actually be teaching me today on a topic that I'm not particularly well versed in. Zia, please introduce yourself.
Well, first off, you're a poser because it's Zia Zenos.
Zia? What?
Yeah,
Zenos.
you've been saying
Sorry.
it wrong
This whole time. I can't believe
this
it.
whole time. Yeah. You're such a fake fan.
I am a fake fan.
But yes, I'm Zia Zenos. I stream tarot, I sing, and sometimes I play a game or two. But it's mostly tarot and music. So if you're into that kind of thing, check it out.
Yeah, it's like what I do, except she does it a lot more and nicer.
Oh, stop. Yours is more fun.
Shush. Anyway.
And less scuffed.
Okay, I won't deny that.
Higher frame rate.
Sometimes I just don't run at 3 FPS.
I don't know why. Works fine for me.
It works fine normally, but sometimes you wanna have real motion. But
go ahead.
I was gonna say I should ask you. So, what is your history with tarot and divination and all that? You know, I feel like that's always an interesting question to get started with when it comes to things like this.
Yeah. So, when I was like 7 years old, I was away at sleepaway camp, and my mom had given me kind of like a journal that you can fill out, and with like different activities and stuff. And one of these activities was palm reading.
Oh.
And I decided to. It was very basic, heartline, etc. But I decided to give it a try, and I practiced on all of my little camper friends. I was always the youngest. This is a 2-week-long sleepaway camp. And then eventually I did it to the counselors, and they were like, "Wow, that's so true. Who is this kid?" And
you were like
calling
4.
me a demon child and stuff. But after that, I got into different kinds of divination as I got older. I believe the second one I learned was tea leaves.
Tea leaves.
So that was, tasiography. That was something that I've done for a long time. These are both a little more tricky to do on stream, but
yeah. It's funny that you mentioned those because my 2 housemates are actually, one of them practices a lot of palmistry and the other one practices a lot of tea leaf reading.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And then you've got tarot, so you guys are like.
We could make a
threat.
fortune reading troupe.
Exactly.
Go to a Ren fair.
Travel from town to town. But I have a giant ass crystal ball.
You have a crystal ball?
Yeah, have you not seen it?
I haven't. Did you ever? I feel like I saw it, but did you ever remake that meme of the guy pondering the orb with yourself?
Yes, I did.
I think. Oh, I do remember it now.
Yeah. Well, mine is red, and the one in that picture is green. But red crystal ball. I've got, I do all sorts of different divination. I do fire scrying.
Fire scrying.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that like when you like light a fire and like look into? I know like what a scrying pool is, but I don't think I know what fire scrying is.
Yeah, it's also called fire gazing. It's basically just like looking in a crystal ball, but with fire. You can do it with water. You can do it with like a lot of different elements and get a different reading. But I picked up tarot a couple of years ago because it's like the most mainstream divination, and it's the one people always ask for. But what I don't know how to do is runes.
Runes! I started learning.
I don't have any. They're on my throne actually.
I'm actually really upset. So like a couple years ago, when me and my housemates were all getting into like rune reading, like wanted to like learn how to read runes, I got one of them for Christmas, like off of Etsy. I got them an entire set of runes made out of bones.
What the fuck? Okay, wait. Do you know about bone scrying though?
No, I do not.
Yeah, I think it's also called. I don't remember, just like bone throwing or like oracle bones.
I think I've heard of oracle bones.
I think there is like a fancy word for it, like pyro osteomancy or something. But I just made that up. That's like definitely not it. But it's like, you use like usually people will use like an animal or something that was close to them.
Yeah.
You cast their bones. You kind of read them like runes.
So, okay.
That's like an interesting intersection.
Yeah, the ending of that story is that I'm so mad because the bone runes never came into the mail.
What?
Us.
Did you get a refund?
Yes, we did. Scapulomancy, that's the word, apparently.
I think that's just the shoulder one.
There's shoulder fortune reading?
Yes, that's just with when you use a shoulder bone.
Oh, I thought it was like fortune reading,
blade.
like you chop someone on their shoulder and you get their fortune.
No.
I diagnosed with death.
Expose your shoulder blade. You're fucked. But yeah, what about you, Elliot? Tell me about your.
Okay,
background.
so you have such a fascinating history when it comes to fortune reading. I always feel like an absolute dip when people ask me like, "Wow, Elliot, how did you get into fortune reading?" Hey, have you ever played Persona?
Yes.
So I played Persona 3 back when I was in like middle school. It was like 8th grade. I played Persona 3 and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Wow, Tarot and Arcana seems really fascinating. I want to learn more. So after that, I learned how to read tarot cards in like high school. And I've not really gone into any other divination because I just enjoy tarot a lot. And
that's awesome though.
So yeah, I got a little bit into runes at some years later, and Serenity of Soul, this isn't a full-on tarot reading stream or anything. We're actually just going to be discussing things about tarot, so there's not going to be a list or anything. Sorry to disappoint. But I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any other broad or any other specific ways of divination that I've learned before. Just tarot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of like kinds of divination that like people wouldn't normally assume, like dream interpretation and stuff.
That's too much for me. I don't remember my dreams in the first place.
Really? I'm a lucid dreamer, so.
Well, god damn, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do a stream where I like go over like all my hacks.
All your dream hacks.
Yeah.
Do this to immediately die in your dream.
If you die in your dream, you die in real life.
I know
you know that, Elliot?
I do know that actually, but it also if you die in X, you die in real life is such like a meme phrase that I knew that you were like being serious, but also I just think like if you die in the game, you die in real life.
No, I was making the joke. I was not being serious.
Oh, okay. I know people have said that in the past, so I wasn't sure.
But yeah, I really enjoy divination. I have a lot of opinions and thoughts on it. How long have you been reading tarot? You said you played Persona 3 in middle school, so it's been a while. It's
been a while. So I learned how to read. I think I actually got my first tarot deck a little bit after that. I got it in my junior year, and then I read a whole book on like learning the cards and everything. So I started my junior year, which was, Jesus Christ, over 10 years ago. I will not specify how close or far away from 10 years it was.
It's okay, I'll do the math in my head.
That's fine. You can tell me what your answer is, and I'll give you an A+ if it's correct.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I've been really on and off with it, but usually, like, it's because I don't enjoy reading for myself as much, so I only ever really read when people were like, hey, Elliot, could you read for me? And it's like, half the time it's either like, is my life fucked, or, hey, what's my love life looking like? That's like almost always like what I would get until I would start streaming tarot. Or like I would bring the cards into the students like at school, and they would be like, Mr. Ambers, can you read my tarot? And I was like, yeah, sure. And like half the class would be like fascinated in my readings, and I'd be like really uncomfortable like with everyone staring at me, and the other half would be like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, I've actually had that same experience when I was a teenager. I would do camp counselor stuff, and eventually I had to stop reading the kids' tarot because I realized, like, what if these kids are coming from like a really religious background, and then they
tell
like, my camp counselor read my tarot, and their parents are like, the occult at Girl Scout camp.
Actually, you bring that up. When I got my first ever tarot deck, I was with my mom at the Barnes and Nobles where they were selling that stuff for some reason, because Barnes and Noble just has that kind of stuff.
They love that for some reason.
And my mom was like, oh, Elliot, you're not getting into voodoo magic or anything, are you? I was like, this is tarot. What are you talking about? It is fortune reading. It is What voodoo?
Yeah, I mean, you and I both attend Zurch.
Yes, we both attend Zurch, also known as a Zoom church.
Yeah. But
just buy some taro buns.
Taro buns.
I'm feeding the kids.
I had a similar experience. I had like a whole, I don't know, my spiritual practice is very eclectic. And I grew up in a town that had a very strong kind of alternative spiritual scene going on, and my parents like still don't even really know that I'm into this kind of thing because I just don't feel like talking about it.
That's understandable. I think my parents both know that I'm into it, but they're just confused. But they're like, if you still believe in God, that's fine. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Cross his fingers.
Is this conversation open between you two in chat? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's just sometimes hard to pay attention to chat also when talking with someone in your ear, but we'll try our best to also involve the chat as well. But
for sure.
That being said, the main topic that we have for discussion today here is Cartomancy, which is very similar to tarot from what I hear, but instead of having like cards with images on them and everything, it uses a standard playing card deck, right?
Yes, so poker cards, playing cards, what have you. Most people do not include the 2 Joker cards. I know some people do, but I don't know a lot about that kind of practice.
The alternative mode. You mean Cartomancy is the magic of shopping carts? The magic, the fortune telling based on what you do with your shopping cart after you finish shopping.
So true. That's actually real though. Like, do you return the cart?
I always return the cart. I'm a good person.
Please. I feel like when I see someone not returning the cart, I don't even be like, oh, that's a terrible person. I'm like, that person's day sucks right now.
That person has bad vibes.
I feel like they're just going through it. If you forget to return the cart, you're going through it.
Or like, you know, like when you go park at the grocery store and you get a shopping cart, but it's like either like in the middle of the lot, like in the spaces, or it's from like the actual like trolley drop off, or if it's like just on the ramp going up into the store, like that also determines your fortune. I think that's part of the Cartomancy.
That's Cartomancy.
No, it's so depending on where you're from in the world, they actually do call it different things, right? So shopping carts is what they call it in like I think like a lot of places.
Yeah, we've got Buggymancy,
Trolleymancy.
Trolleymancy. No, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough for this bit, Elliot.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make the fortune telling. I'm gonna learn how to divine through shopping carts.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we should go to like I don't know what kind of stores you have in your area. What's
Walmart,
like a store you have?
Walmart off collab.
Walmart
shopping cart.
And pull out like some journals and just observe.
observe the people who drop off the carts.
What the fuck are these weirdos doing?
Why are they just standing outside? Why aren't they going into the store?
Why are they just looking at people and writing shit down?
Menacingly, what's in the journal? It's fortune telling. It's research.
Yeah, they come up and we're like, this is a spiritual research.
Have you had a bad day by any chance? How is your day going right now?
I'm getting some hostile vibes from you. And I don't know why this is.
You seem like you're at peace today. I'm an empath, BTW. Empath.
Okay, so we get on with it.
Yes, of course.
Well, I don't really know how to start this off. I guess you were basically telling me what you know about it, right?
Yes.
I would like to hear what you think would be the main differences between tarot and cartomancy.
So, the thing that I know, the first thing is that a lot of the tarot decks that's used, like the most commonly used tarot decks, you know, like the Rider-Waite deck and everything, the playing cards decks that we have nowadays are very much based off of like the suits there. You know, like there's a lot of correlations drawn. You know, you have the diamonds, you have the spades, you have the clubs, and you have the hearts. And those are each like correlated to a different suit, right? So like,
yes.
What is it? Diamonds are related to pentacles, clubs are related to wands, hearts are cups, and spades are swords, right?
You're close. So,
Shit.
Basically, when you were thinking about tarot, I assume you would know this. But when we're thinking about tarot, each of these suits has a different element associated.
Right.
So fire being swords, air being wands, water being cups, and earth being pentacles. And so we in Cartomancy, it's the same thing.
Actually, wait. I realized I could do something here.
What can you do?
I could write this on the board.
Oh my gosh.
Give me a second.
Oh, I feel so official.
I feel like I should write the notes down just so that we have these. Let me make sure that I'm gonna actually switch the scene so it's my writing scene.
Okay. Go for it.
Let me just make sure I have the right scene there. What is the correct scene to be on for writing? Wait, do I have my... Let me open up Photoshop and just adjust this here. This should work. Because that's an important aspect that I always fail to talk about when I do readings. I don't really bring up the elements that frequently when it comes to that. It's not something that I really think about. But you are right. Those are all related. So let me just get a black screen here so we can take the notes for myself and for the chat. It feels like I'm really taking lessons from a teacher.
Yeah, the turntables.
I am the teacher, or I am the student now.
Oh, he's so used to it. He can't even say it. He can't even bring himself to say it.
Shush. Wait.
All right, so we have hearts.
Hold up. I gotta make this blend in with the
slow
board.
ass.
Hey, look, I have to set this up so it looks somewhat official. Give me a break.
There's less scuff on Elliot's channel. There's less scuff.
There's more scuff right now, is what it is. All right, this is good enough. It's centered. Okay, so we know that the elements, right? Let me just get my next layer here.
Oh my god.
And why?
And just a little bit. Just give me one more second, and then.
Please be nice to me.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
it's the...
My programming doesn't allow me to do that.
That's fair, I guess. Ooh, holy moly. Doing this impromptu is so hard. The suits. And their elements. That's readable, I think. Let me get my pointer out of the way. I'm putting it on you. Under you.
Okay.
So...
I'm being pointed at. Everyone's pointing at me.
You are. It's pointing behind you. So it's like,
see.
it's not actually... It's not pointing... it's like on your back like a sword, you know?
Everyone's gonna think I'm like a sword girl.
So, we know that cups are water. We know that swords...
Cups are water, yes. Swords
are fire. I'm passing the test here.
Yep.
Pentacles are earth.
Yep.
Pentacles. I would always assume that wands are earth, but pentacles makes more sense as earth.
Yeah, because money and material possessions.
That makes sense. And wands are air. There we are. A pentacle is a coin piano.
Yes.
They're
sometimes in certain decks you'll even see the pentacles referred to as like the suit of coins.
Yeah.
Coins.
So
by extension, we have swords are fire are hearts.
Okay, I'm just gonna draw a heart there because...
Yeah, go for it.
It's cuter. That's the hearts.
Cups are water, right?
Yeah.
So cups are water are spades.
Oh, spades. That's like an upside down heart or a...
Like a little...
There we go. The Homestuck symbols.
Yes, I know. Oh my god.
Low-hanging fruit, I'm sorry.
I can't talk to you. I feel like I can't talk to you.
That's fair.
This is a hostile environment for me.
Oh, the shopping carts are off. She must not have put it back in the proper location.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, you neglected to mention Homestuck in your origin story.
I didn't need to. Homestuck had no part in me learning the tarot.
Did it not? Okay, I feel like when I read Homestuck, it was like I understood the zodiac signs. I understood like the the signs like what we're talking about right now, like the different elements with the zodiac signs. that was interesting to me. But anyways.
anyways,
I gotta stop talking.
Now you're talking about Homestuck.
Okay. Pentacles, Earth, clubs.
Clubs. So that's like a spade, but it's like more bally. There we go.
Why do you describe things in this way?
Stop. It just happened. They're called Freudian slips, I think.
It just literally looks like it literally just looks like a clover. Like
I drew a clover. Close enough. I can't draw.
You drew a bally spade.
Be nice to me.
All right.
I was both the Persona and Homestuck teen, by the way, Hanabi.
Yeah, that's the worst of both worlds.
Sorry. It just be like that.
We've got what's the one left? Oh, air. Yeah, so we have wands, air, diamonds. Process of elimination. I'm sure you figured it out yourself.
No, I put spades a second time actually.
Oh wow.
Instructions unclear.
You. All right. So
okay.
Now that we have these, so we know each of these suits corresponds to an element. So I think this is kind of the building blocks of Cartomancy and Tarot, at least if we're talking about the minor arcana.
Right.
And then the other half of both the minor arcana and Cartomancy is numerology.
Oh, right, that part. I think that's what filtered me.
So, when we think about the different elements, each of these elements deals with a different set of ideas. And so, for example, it's the same as in the zodiac. So if you're familiar with fire, water, air, earth signs, speaking of chat
yes.
here, I hope that you know this. So for fire or wands or swords, what have you, we have it's a very energetic. It's a very energetic element, seeing as how fire is, heat energy.
Yeah.
It's the element of action, inspiration, ambition, and just like drive and passion. And that's something that I find really interesting, is how these kind of ideas are instinctual and exist across cultures.
Yeah.
So when we think of fire, we think of passion. Even the phrase fiery passion.
Yeah, burning passion.
Burning passion. And then next up we have water, cups.
Water.
You hold water in cups.
You do. I use my hands.
Yeah, well, you're a freak like that. So, Jesus. Water is it's like a very kind of like the divine feminine, the idea of the divine feminine, right? Okay. So we've got emotion, feelings, intuition, and interpersonal relationships.
Feelings.
We've got like it's a very when we think of like the triple moon goddess or what have you from folk spirituality, we usually think of water. And if you want to think about the triple moon goddess, moon, tides, water.
Yeah, of course.
It all ties in together. And then we have air being swords. So that's the
I thought swords was fire.
What did I say?
You said swords.
Oh, sorry, I fumbled. My bad. So I was talking about air, so we've got wands. And so that's the very cerebral suit. That's a good
word for it.
Yeah, logic, intellect, ideas, but also just communication and kind of understanding others in a more intellectual way. And it can also be very introspective.
Yeah.
And then we've got Earth with pentacles being
material.
Yes, material, and not just material as in money, also material as in nature. Obviously, Earth.
The things on this planet, the Earth itself.
Like your body, or your sense of stability, your sense of being grounded in the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are kind of the the suit side of it. And then if you want to get into numerology, I'm not going to get it deep into numerology today.
We can go lightly into it. It's a lot, I know.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I'll explain kind of the philosophy behind the way that it works in tarot. So in tarot, we have, just like in playing cards, we have like, the Five of Swords, the King of Pentacles.
Right.
And we combine the meaning of the suit with the meaning of the number. So thinking about the numbers, we have 1 being aces, symbolizing new beginnings, opportunity and potential, basically.
New beginning, yeah.
And 2, the duality, balance,
I get that
partnership.
Duality.
3 is the number of creativity and growth. Groups, because we're moving from partnership in 2 up to groups in 3.
And a lot of this is really just shown in even in the symbology, like the imagery on tarot cards. A lot of these ideas can be seen.
Yeah, it's really amazing. The Rider-Waite deck.
It's so safe.
What?
It's like so safe. It's like so beginner friendly.
It is.
All ties
it
together.
all makes perfect sense. Like, you look at the card and you're like, okay, I get it.
That's the story.
It's the perfect first deck because it instinctually makes you remember the feeling of the card.
That's why I still use it to this day.
Yeah. So we have 4 is structure, stability, because if you think about, a square or whatever.
Yeah, 4 sides.
Yeah. And then it's also the number of manifestation. So, making things happen. 5, we've destabilized the square.
We have made a pentagon.
We've made a pentagon. Thank you, math teacher. And so we have change, instability, conflict.
I can see that a lot in a lot of the tarot deck cards. Instability.
Yep.
You think about like the 5 pentacles.
Number 6 is kind of going back to because it's a what do you call it when a number is something times another thing? I don't know what you call
Composite?
Yeah, maybe.
Not a prime number?
Yeah, but it's like the blank of 2 and 3.
The factor? The product?
The product. Thank you. I was like, the sum? No, that's the other one.
That's 5.
So because it's the product of 3 and 2, those being duality and balance and groups and growth, we have communication, cooperation, and harmony.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's at least that's my opinion on it. I don't know if I ever actually learned that.
If you got the right, that's your interpretation. But that makes sense.
Yeah, these are all kind of combinations of like things I read and things I just
like the relation between 2 and 3, because like you said, it's like the partnership and then the like group community kind of like connection, multiplying that. Like you think like 2 and 3, and then like I think of like the 6 of Wands, especially, like that's one card that like sticks out with the 6.
Yeah, I mean even just like the imagery on the 6 of Wands. And then we've got 7. 7 is, being a prime number.
Most of these are prime numbers, by the way.
You know what? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like I don't know. It's like a weird number.
7 is a weird number. I do agree. It doesn't
that number
go into a lot of things.
Is fucking quirked up.
That's why it's the lucky number. It's lucky because it's so quirked up.
It's quirked up. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So it's the number of reflection or kind of detaching and assessing.
Yeah.
8 is so 4 we talked about is manifestation, right? 8 is accomplishment.
Okay.
Or mastery, getting really good at something.
Yeah, that one really brings to mind like the 8 of Pentacles.
Yep. And then number 9 coming after 8 is fruition, or getting like attainment, like attaining something, fulfillment. That's number 9. And then number 10, being the last numbered card, is completion, or the end of the cycle.
That tracks.
Similar to the world card.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
but it's also renewal, because it all starts over again.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense even like with the minor arcana. A lot of the 10s have that signification of like the end of the journey in that suit itself.
Yep. And then if you want to move on to the face cards.
Ooh, right. That's important.
That's a difference in tarot and playing cards. So in tarot, we have the page. He is a young boy. He's kind of an apprentice.
Yeah.
And like anything in tarot, these face cards kind of represent a journey of one character. So just like the major arcana is the Fool's journey, this is kind of the page's journey. So we have they're kind of life stages is also how I think of them. So the pages are curious children. The knights are like kind of younger adults or teenagers who are like think they know everything, right?
More confident.
Yes. And then the king and queen are kind of flipped around.
Yeah.
Than how people usually think of them. The king is a kind of a more mature adult, highly skilled, and then the queen is an older and wiser figure who kind of understands life on a deeper level.
Wiser. That makes sense with a lot of like the female figures that they use in a lot of like tarot readings and stuff. Like you think of the high priestess and everything.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things in tarot is the difference between the emperor and the empress. And kind of the duality of that.
Yeah.
So
my question, right?
Yeah.
So in a deck of cards, right? Obviously, one of the big differences is that tarot has 4 face cards. It's the page, knights, queen, king. So how does that relate to with cartomancy, with playing cards? How does the interpretation change there when it's only the jack, queen, and king?
So, when we think about the face cards or the court cards, as people call them, we can they kind of have slightly different archetypical meanings, especially because in cartomancy and in playing cards in general, when you're playing a card game, especially one that's got like, let's say you're playing battle, you have to have a bigger number than the other person.
You mean war?
The king.
You call it battle?
Yeah, it's called battle.
It's called war.
Okay, you're wrong, but anyways.
I'm not wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wrong.
I declare war. What? I declare what?
I don't. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. We live in different parts of the country.
That's fair.
So when you're playing whatever this game is called, the king trumps the queen, which is actually typically different than tarot. So these are kind of different archetypes.
Yeah.
The jack is similar to the page, and jacks kind of literally are the same thing as a page, a messenger. But while the page is more of like a apprentice, the jack is more of a messenger. So the page is more focused on himself, the world around him. The jack is more focused on the journey, right?
Right, getting his
and he's
message
more
across.
focused on this message that he's bringing.
Okay.
He brings the idea of movement. And he is a gender neutral archetype. I would say they all are, but
and Frankie, welcome. Thank you for the raid.
Hey, welcome.
We're just talking about tarot card and cartomancy stuff right now.
Yeah. So moving up, we have the queen, who's similar to, she kind of represents the divine feminine again.
Right.
Coming back to this, motherhood, love, nurturing.
Motherhood, nurturing.
And then kind of this idea of the divine subconscious, or knowing something that you don't even know that you know.
Like intuition?
That's kind of, yes, but something more
like more powerful than that. Yeah.
Yes. Like being in touch with something that can't really be like consciously understood.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mind and conscious.
And then finally we have the king, which is the grown man, the highest ranking court card. And he is, the masculine figure here, bringing mastery, authority, leadership, control, and kind of a traditional vibe. The jacks are curious about the world. The queens are kind of wiser. The kings more defer to authority or tradition.
Right. So like things that keeping things the way they have done. Oh, Alto's asking a question.
Oh, what's up?
Given how close the Spanish deck is to the tarot deck, is there divination revolving it? Is there a different playing card deck for like in Spanish speaking places?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's the Spanish suited cards.
It probably is similar, I'd imagine.
It's like very it's like the Italian deck. I know a little bit about this.
Right. This like Spain Spanish. Right.
Yes. Not just like in the language.
Sorry, I have a smooth brain.
But yeah, I mean playing cards like traditionally they have their origin in China. And then were adopted by those in Egypt, and then spread through the Iberian Peninsula. So there's a lot of different regional differences. So yeah, the Spanish-suited playing cards, I know that they are different, but they're similar to the Italian ones and to the French ones.
Yeah, I think I remember the French one. Donut.
Oh god.
Sorry.
No more Persona. I'm forbidding this word.
Persona banned. Okay.
Yeah. Banned word.
Banned.
So moving on. That's kind of one of the differences is in the court cards. Do you have any other anticipated differences or similarities?
So I guess that covers a lot of it, just interpreting like how the Rider Tarot deck has the suits or the cards from like ace up to 10. That's pretty much covered in just, I guess you would associate a lot of the meanings from like if we go back to the other slides, right? Like I would imagine, if we have talked about the cups, right? Like the ace of cups probably being like related to the ace of spades, right? They both give you that same kind of idea. I'd imagine like that kind of stuff, that's all pretty similar, but it won't be the exact same readings, but I assume we'll get to the readings of different cards as we go through. But I think you covered most of the things I probably would have asked questions on, aside from like the jokers and stuff. You already covered that.
Then I'll just go into the rest of the differences that I can think of.
Okay.
Obviously we have the lack of the major arcana.
Oh, duh! There's no major arcana. Of course.
So when we think about the major arcana in terms of a tarot reading, we think usually when we see these major arcana cards, that denotes a more important or significant or just like a more significant meaning or event in the person's life, while the minor arcana can be more mundane.
Right. Like they're not like the big events, but they're like things that'll come probably like in the day to day. They might experience it without like really thinking too hard about it.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I was just gonna say like, so how does the lack of a major arcana really like influence how fortunes are read in a playing card deck? I assume that with the lack of a major arcana, things feel a little bit more overall balanced. I assume that like it'd be more towards like the strength of the suits rather than just there being a minor and major arcana, right? Like when you have a reading with a lot of major arcana, that's usually implied that it's closer towards a major life event. But because there's a lack of that overall in the deck, it's just how do you determine whether or not like a reading is more or less impactful towards one's life?
I feel like when reading with Cartomancy, the readings tend to be more straightforward, or I don't know, logical, less fantastical.
Okay.
In a way, they're less metaphorical.
Right.
Less a little bit more specific, a little bit more blunt.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
are
just been
fucked.
my personal experience. Again, don't know if that's anyone else's experience, but that's been kind of my deal. And I agree that it feels much more balanced when you're just working with the 4 suits. And when we, like, a lot of people, like people who don't read tarot, like when they think of tarot, they think of the major arcana.
Right, because like a lot of media focuses on the major arcana a lot of times. You
Which
know, like
is
JoJo's.
absolutely fair because it's like a really fascinating story.
Yeah, it's
the
cool.
Fool's Journey.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting to kind of see that stripped away.
That it's just down to the bare essentials of just like the minor arcana itself without the Fool's Journey influencing it.
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes here, and I wrote something I literally don't know what it means.
Maybe you'll figure out what it means when you say it out loud.
Yeah, I wrote cards are more common items. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
Maybe I just meant like.
I think you mean like playing cards, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So like playing cards are just like regular items. Okay, thank you.
I got you.
They're just regular items. They don't, typically hold this like strong spiritual meaning. Which I think also goes into them feeling less fantastical, less mystical.
Yeah.
And if you want a more straightforward reading, then that's great. Finally, I'm just going to touch on this for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There is a kind of a quirk to some ways that Cartomancy has read in some methods that just doesn't happen in tarot, which I kind of have called dependent cards. So you'll hear like okay, I'm trying to think of an example because I don't use these, but like you'll hear someone say like, well, this card means this, but if it's followed up by this, or it's near this card or one of these cards,
are you talking about in tarot?
I'm talking about in Cartomancy.
Oh, in Cartomancy, okay.
Then it has a completely different meaning that is like incredibly specific.
The hyper specific cases.
Yeah. And it's like really strange. I don't know a lot about it, and I think it's a French. It has its roots in France style of reading, but that just doesn't really happen in tarot. I guess because there's already just so much to focus on.
I mean, when I read the book that I studied on for tarot, they actually did have a couple of instances where like if you had a reading where I think I can't think of like things off the top of my head, but it was like the Chariot followed by the Empress, or like one of the cards in reverse followed by another card, like in it like mixed both the major and minor arcana, and they had like these really specific cases here of like meanings changing. I was like, huh, that's really specific. Who's gonna memorize all of that?
Yeah, I know. It's I haven't heard of it in tarot, but that's actually really interesting. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I know the book that I read it from, so I could just send it to you.
Okay. I just burped on your channel. It's my channel now.
Oh, okay. I guess it's your channel now.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
Question, what use, if any, do you think divination has if it doesn't have any non-trivial predictive ability? That's a very good question.
Yeah, so I have a clip on my channel where I talk about this a little bit. I think I put it pretty well there, but I'll try to summarize. So I think that the cards have as much power as you put in them. So if you believe that it's going to tell you everything that you've ever wanted to know, it's going to determine your future, you can't change anything once it tells you that, then that's kind of what you're going to get. If you just want some general advice on the future, that's what you're going to get. If you're just looking for a means of self-reflection, which is kind of something that I think is really interesting, just like a means of thinking about your life in a different way, from a different perspective, then that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe, then you don't believe, and that's fine.
It's fine. I feel like I always, like, I've seen a lot, like, when I'd, like, do these streams, and I'll, like, see people talk about it, and they'd be like, but tarot's fake and magic's not real, idiot. Why are you wasting your time with this? But, like, dude, of course, like, there's, like, some, like, suspension of disbelief and, like, some, like, amount of, like, you just understanding that, I am simply just a guy with a deck of cards, right? But when I give people readings, it's like, it's not this idea that I'm going to read their future and tell them what's going to happen to them. A lot of times it's just they'll hear what they hear from my interpretation, and it makes them think about the future. And I think that's the important part, at least with the divination that I've worked with and like I've had done for me. I always see it as sort of a means of self-reflection mostly. Like for me, because, you know, as cool as it would be for like to be able to have future sight and predict things, I think the best kind of way you can look towards the future is to just think more openly about it. And I think divination gives you another viewpoint that you might not have normally had otherwise. And just hearing it from another person is sometimes helpful in and of itself.
And I made a point in the clip that I talked about earlier, where as I talked about how when we talk to each other, you're talking to me right now, we can never really truly understand what the other person's saying, right? We can only understand what we think they're saying.
Exactly.
Or our idea of what they're saying. We're never going to perfectly be able to put your thoughts from into your brain into mine. And it's kind of the same way, right? From the deck to me to you. Some things are going to get lost in translation, but that's part of the medium.
Yeah. But like, the person that's doing the reading might have a different interpretation of like what they're saying. Like they're going to be saying something, but like the person actually hearing it might hear what they want to hear, or, you know, might not have thought of of anything that the person that's reading them has said before. So it just, even if they didn't mean to interpret it to be interpreted one way, it very well could just be interpreted differently.
Right, and that's why people, you know, when I read for people, I don't see their future and I don't know what's going on in their life. But then, you know, oftentimes I read for people, they're like, wow, that was so accurate. That's because something I said felt familiar to them, not because I saw what was going on in their life.
You just saw things that you just read possible outcomes and you just gave them advice.
Yeah, exactly.
At least that's how I always read it when I do these readings.
I totally agree. But getting into the similarities, I kind of talked about most of them. They're cards used for divination. Suits and numbers have their own meaning that combine to make the unique meaning of the card. Each suit corresponds to an element. Finally, everyone uses the cards differently. I've talked about this a little bit, but there are plenty of different methods, especially with Cartomancy, because it's not so rigid with the Fool's Journey and all that, and the imagery on the card. And these cards are, you know, like very ancient.
Are they ancient? Playing cards or tarot cards?
all playing cards and tarot cards come from the same origin.
Oh, right. I remember like specifically the Rider deck is like not super old, but yeah, I mean obviously tarot has origins from before that.
Yeah, and tarot cards before they were ever used for divination were playing cards.
Yeah, of course.
That, you know, eventually got used as a tool. So they all come from the same root, but these playing cards specifically, they, you know, just like tarot, they're ancient. And they're just more open to interpretation, and they've been interpreted many different ways across time and space.
So with that being said, did you have more to say?
No, I was just umming.
Okay, so let me just address what's being said in chat too, because there was a response to what we said. It makes divination seem strangely empty. It feels almost like a disappointment if it has no actual predictive ability. Well, I think a lot of it is just like self-reflection in and of itself. I think is very important for predicting your own future, because reflecting on yourself and the things that you're going to do in and of itself is just planning out for the future.
And I also want to say, I think that self-reflection and introspection are innately spiritual things. So, and very powerful things, very, very charged things. And so just because, you know, it's, you know, all in your head doesn't mean that, if you believe that, doesn't mean that it's not magical. Because when we think about like kind of that conscious kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, kind of what I said before with, that's a very spiritual act, self-reflection. And magical act.
But also, Dr. Frankie is saying, well, not exactly. You asked, some historians say that tarot was used as a tool from the start. I am not a historian, so I don't actually know. I can argue. I am also not a
historian. From what I've heard, the divination and the divination cards, tarot cards, and playing cards all kind of evolved together. They were not separate. So if they were used as tools from the start, then I would assume they were also being used as playing cards from the start, because they all have the same origin in China.
Like, you know, you just see cards and it's like, you know, they have the funny numbers. I feel like it's just natural that you just play games with them. right?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you're just bored. You see the stack of cards, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna have fun with these, because people throughout history just get bored and have to figure out what to do with their lives.
And I think people throughout history also use fortune telling with anything that they can.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at Terry Davis made a operating system to talk to God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he had a whole divination aspect of it where it would pull random phrases from the Bible, even from the fine text copyright stuff at the front of the Bible. He would ask it a question, it would pull that, and he would interpret that as an answer to his question. And I know this guy is a big meme, whatever, but I think that's a really awesome example of technomancy.
I think it's really technomancy. Yeah, that is true. I think Alto brings up a good question too. That, tiles coming before cards. I feel like divination through Mahjong tiles seems like something that actually seems like really reasonable to expect to exist.
I'm pretty sure that does exist.
I wouldn't know anything about it, but people divine through anything, right?
Yeah, I feel like I've read that kind of these just these game pieces were some of the first divination tools. Not the first divination tools, but the first formal divination tools, I guess. Obviously, everyone's been looking at the sun since God knows when.
I look at the sun to see God, and then I can't see anymore.
Yeah, just blinded by his power. That's how that works.
No, that's what we call it, getting a prophecy and becoming a prophet. You just at the sun for too long.
I know. And then the scales come off of your eyes or whatever.
The scales?
You know what I'm talking about? Doesn't that happen to Saul in the Bible?
I'm gonna be honest. I may be the son of a pastor, but
I didn't know you were the son of a pastor.
I've not read through much of the Bible. I'm gonna be honest with you completely. I was a rebellious youth.
I had no idea. That's so funny.
It was. I revealed that during my Christmas karaoke, where I started singing loud, Christian rock carols because I was the lead singer of a Christian rock band, or the praise band.
Literally had the same childhood, but
same childhood.
I can't
God
hear
had a mission for us. I
know, but yeah, it's I didn't exist when the Christmas thing happened, so
that's fine.
I didn't exist yet.
The VOD exists somewhere of me singing Hillsong United. Oop, what just happened? There we go.
So no head.
Thank you, Ringe.
Why do you always zoom in like that?
Why do I zoom in like what?
The way that you zoom in.
It's because my scroll wheel is broken, alright? Get over it. I have to scroll really fast, and eventually one of the scrolls will read as a zoom in, and then I can just zoom out easily because it reads the down scroll, but not the up scroll.
You need to move your model before scrolling.
Oh, I see what you mean. That's alright. I don't need to. On. The power stance is fine. Moving on. What do you have next on the lesson plan, Teach?
So, I wanted to talk a little bit about why Cartomancy instead of Tarot.
Let me make a new layer and not be too slow on this one before you go too fast. And I'm like, wait, I didn't take any notes.
I'm not gonna go super in depth. It's pretty basic.
Why?
Basically, it's all up to personal preference. Playing cards are common items. They are cheaper. They're more accessible. But mostly it's just a different experience. I mean, why do people use any, why do we have different decks other than Rider White, right? Because it's just a different experience.
Exactly.
So that's my answer there.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to get into the actual cards?
Oh, we might as well get into it, yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the cards themselves, right?
Right.
So where are we going to get started with the cards?
I'm going to, the way I have it written out is I went by card, and then I had the name of the card at the top, and then its general meaning, and then below that I have hearts, and it'll say the meaning when it's a hearts, diamonds, meaning when it's diamonds.
Oh, okay, so it's going by numbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can sort this out. So let's start with the aces then. I feel like that's a good starting place,
Yeah.
So let me put the 4 aces on the board here.
in chat we've got most of the wizards I know are kind of like don't touch my divination stuff. Are you like that too, Zia? I don't like people touching any of my stuff, honestly. Very private person. I don't even like let my friends in my room. I make them hang out in the living room.
So I have a question for you, actually, because I do this when I read for people in person. I always like to have the person that I'm reading for also shuffle my tarot deck. Are you also like that?
Yeah, I am, and also I let them pick the cards.
Oh, so instead of just going from the top, you have them pick from the deck itself.
Oh yeah, I always do that.
Yeah, I figured that's a bit too much for the people that I'm reading for, so I just take off the top.
Yeah, I'll usually guide them. I'll say something like, if I'm doing Mind, Body, Spirit, I'll say like, picture just like the word mind in your head, or I'll say like, picture, you know, just like whatever. I'll kind of guide them through it.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll ask. I'll be like, do you want me to pick the cards, or do you want to do it? And a lot of times they'll say, I want to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to. They're fun to hold. They're fun to shuffle. A lot of people get scared
like
to shuffle them.
Good
It's got good hand feel.
It's very good hand feel, and then like holding the playing cards like you were talking about earlier is very strange.
It's so hard to bridge shuffle a deck of playing cards after only shuffling tarot cards.
You bridge shuffle your tarot cards? That's
I
psycho.
do. Sorry.
That's
I'm
psycho.
insane.
I do not bend my cards.
I don't like hard bend them. It's like a light bridge shuffle. It's you gotta break them in. You gotta break them in. You gotta break them in. No, what really hurts me was I brought my tarot cards in to my class at some point in time, right? And I think for some reason I was using them to play werewolf with my students because we didn't have those are the only cards I had on.
I've done this, like with Mafia stuff.
Yeah, I would use tarot cards, and then some bastard students would fold my cards.
Evil.
Like, you know, because kids just fold cards, and like, I think it was like my 7 of Wands that got like hella hard fold, like a long crease, like diagonally, like short ways. I was like, I can't read with this deck anymore.
That's so sad.
Like, even though I bridge shuffle, none of my cards are creased or anything.
No, it gives you character. It's like getting a scar.
It's like getting a scar. But it loses a fortune when you see that crease and you're like, aw, there's the 7 of Wands again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when it's backside up.
Exactly, when you know what card is going to come.
Yeah, that's kind of poopy.
Bad. But now I have my fun, shiny golden deck, so I'm happy again.
Alright, are you ready to move on?
I am ready to move on. If I don't know why this isn't showing up. Wait. There we are.
Alright.
Alright.
So, we'll start with aces. So aces are, like we talked about before, aces are kind of like
a beginning,
in addition to
right?
what we talked.
Like beginnings, right?
Yeah, beginnings, and then in addition, I kind of didn't mention this before, I'm realizing, but also they can kind of embody just the spirit of the card. So just like the thing.
And that's the same with like the aces in a tarot deck as well.
Exactly. So when we're thinking, you can interpret it either way. So I kind of wrote out 2 different interpretations for each. So I wrote ace and I wrote 1.
Fair.
I don't know. So for aces, we have kind of just like the embodiment of something or the spirit of something. And so for hearts, that would be kind of love and passion.
Right. Love, passion.
Diamonds.
Creativity, I'd imagine too. Love. Yeah, no, never mind. Just keep on going.
Okay. Hearts, yeah. And then diamonds being like knowledge and mysticism. And spades being change, or you know, even death.
Ooh, death.
And then clubs being nature and life.
Life. Went a little fast there.
Sorry.
It's alright. So what did you say for spades again?
Spades, I said change and death, which
change.
like in tarot,
I was about to say
death and change are often conflated.
Yeah, like death typically means like massive change.
Yeah, not like literal death.
Yeah. And
People
it's not
get
even
so
like
scared when I pull
it's
out
not like a
the
physical
death
death either. Like I'd imagine like with the ace of spades, it's not like death like dying, but like death like the death of like Like spiritual death, yeah.
An end. Yeah, an ending.
Something coming to an end, which again comes with a change.
Right. And then yeah. All right. So moving on to 1.
The happy squirrel. Oh yeah, you said you had meanings for 1 and aces, right?
Yes.
But let me also just write. Wait. Let me just get this here. 1.
It's freaking me out that you don't have a head.
Sorry. He literally said, so no head. So I have no head.
It's really scary.
I'm sorry. It happened because I got too excited over video games once, and the head of my model just flew off. I don't know how it happened, but I knew how to replicate it. Like, I've never seen anyone actually, like, lose the head of their model. But,
That's
like,
so funny.
I
Just,
got
like,
really
hair and all?
excited. Yeah, everything. The monocle actually got lost too, but
it's
I
funny
thought
that
it would be
way.
funny to
Yeah.
keep the
No, it's really funny.
and spade. All right, I have the words written down. So what does it mean? What's the alternate interpretation? Reading these as 1.
Well, we kind of went over that before.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know. If
like
we're
these ultimate ones I just read them out before. Right?
Okay.
So when we combine that with hearts, we can get kind of the pursuit of love or young love, puppy love.
Right.
We can get drive and ambition. And then, you ready?
1 sec. I need to put a headpad on you.
Yes, please.
It's the layer is on VTube
behind
Studio,
me.
so it's like it's rubbing the ear of your hat.
Okay, I'll live with that.
You can. That's fine.
You should do it like on the point of the ear.
On the point of the ear. Yeah, let me do that. Let me put that over on the right side, right in front of chat. There you go.
Lala wanted it for me and me only. Oh my God.
Only for you. All right. So where were we? I was too busy setting up the headpad.
So we were at 1.
Okay.
Pursuit of love, young love.
So it is pursuit of young love.
Or just like a new love, I guess. Like, yeah. And then for diamonds, we have curiosity and kind of learning. Okay. And then for spades, we have kind of like new changes.
Okay, new changes.
Or fluidity. And then it can also symbolize choices.
Choices. All right. And clubs?
So for clubs, this is kind of one that I've kind of struggled with a little bit.
That's fair.
I'm still learning
that.
cartomancy, always still learning, but I mean, new life obviously is the obvious interpretation. So, like, you know, new opportunities and like actual birth or pregnancy or fertility. And yeah, that would be my interpretation.
Right.
But it can also just mean, you know, I've taken it to mean like a new location, like a change in physical surroundings.
Okay.
So yeah.
The clubs directly relate to the cups, right? No.
The club, yeah,
It's
the
pentacles.
clubs are, yeah, pentacles. So
Right, that tracks.
like
that
we
tracks.
talked about life, nature,
Yeah.
physical.
Opportunities. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Make this a little easier for myself, actually. Instead of writing out the suit names every single time,
You can
Let's
just
do
draw
this.
'em.
I was gonna say I could make a separate layer where it just says the suit names, and then make a new layer with actual descriptions. Oh my god!
That was like pretty good.
That was impressive, but also
Thank
Jesus
you.
Christ.
Just burped in your face,
Yeah.
directly into your ear.
Into my ear, on my dinner, on my
Right in front
salad.
of my salad.
God. Clubs. Diamond. It was both. It was surround
It
sound.
was both. It was what do they call it? 4D sound or whatever.
4K sound. if they do 4D, like when you go to those 4D movies, then I would have actually felt it on my face.
You would have smelled it.
No, God.
Sorry.
That's okay. Alright, so those are the suits. Now I can just write over it instead of rewriting them every time. So where were we?
I think we were approaching 3.
Okay, let me change this. Yes. Now that they're all in the folder that you handy gave me, we can just easily do this. Only there was like a mass change option.
I know, OBS kills me.
OBS, it works. Sometimes it feels like a little archaic in the way we had to go through things. Alright, so the 3 of clubs, the 3 of suits.
Yes?
We are
3
here.
of suits?
The 3 suits. The 3
There's
number.
4 suits?
Please,
Please.
please. We're on to the 3s. There.
Okay. It's fun to be bullying you in on stream instead of in chat.
Wow, I'm glad you're enjoying this experience.
I really am. All right. So we've got so 3s. I'm like low-key a cheater because with 3s for some reason I always just interpret it as like the like a combination of the cards surrounding it, so like the card before it and the card after it, or the 2 cards nearest.
Is that really cheating?
I guess not, but I kind of like combine the other 2 cards. What do you do if the other card is also a 3?
Oh God.
But
oh, I see it. So you mean in actual readings? Oh, I thought you meant like you're just saying that they take the meanings of the 2s and the 4s. No, I get what you mean now.
No, yeah, like in the reading.
I think that's an interesting approach to a suit, right? Or to a number. That it's a number that's reliant on other numbers to be interpreted. I think that in and of itself has meaning, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, since like 3 is kind of a very like us in the numerology of tarot and cartomancy and all that, it's a very like sensitive number. And it's like the number of groups.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me, so that's what I do.
Right. So you don't have a specific meaning for this?
Not really.
Okay.
But I do just keep in mind like the kind of group mentality.
Yeah,
and the
I'm gonna
growth
just write
and the creativity.
Based on surrounding cards. So it's based on it uses its suit to sort of support the surrounding cards essentially.
Yes.
Like, you know, if you have like a 3 of clubs in between 2 other clubs, it just reflects in that whole like, what is it, the like that material, that earth and energy.
There you go.
There you go. It means that like the material possession within the reading is that much stronger, or like the earthly relation. I get that. Okay, so it's the 3s. Easy. The 3s are so Cartomancy's easy. Why was I afraid of learning this?
Wait, can I tell you a math secret?
Yeah, sure.
My terrible math secret.
What's your terrible math secret?
So we've talked about before how like I'm just like terrible with numbers.
Yes, just
yeah, and I just mix them up like forever and ever. So when I was in 3rd grade, we were learning our times tables. Legit, I could not do it. I simply couldn't do it. It was just not possible. Like I could work out the answer, but I just couldn't memorize it.
I'm gonna be honest. I never memorized a times table either. I thought it was pointless. I thought I could just do the multiplication. Why do I have to memorize a times table?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But they want you, just for the sake of your math skills, to go through that muscle memory early.
Yeah, I eventually remembered my times tables because I was just good at math eventually. I wasn't always good at math.
But where was I going with this? Okay, so I had to memorize them because we were gonna have an ice cream party. And for every, I was about to call them fucking suits. For every like, what would you call that? Like for 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, 2.
Every product.
I guess like for all like the 2s times something.
Right. All the products of like 2 or all the products of 3.
Yeah. I was gonna call them suits.
It's okay.
But, so for all that we had, for each one there was a like So the ones were ice cream, the twos were like the juice, and then everything else was toppings. For each one that you got a perfect score on in like less than 2 minutes or whatever.
2 minutes.
And yeah, it was really terrible. So what I did was I had these rhymes that I made up.
Why does that seem so on brand?
Well, you know, I'm a very auditory person.
You are.
And so this is so embarrassing. So obviously I had my 5s down and I had 1s and 2s.
Okay, you had
and 10s and
those
11s.
Those are all. Wait, you're 11s?
We had to do up to 12s.
Yeah, but like, you know, I feel like a kid would get thrown off on the 11s once you get to 11 and 12.
Once you get to the yeah. Well, I kind of just forced myself to learn those. They're not that hard to remember. You just add 11 to the last thing. But anyways, so I had these rhymes, and I'll share some of them with you.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
I'm about to cause you pain.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 6 times 7. Chicks times surfing. The chicks go surfing, and they go fishing for 6. 56.
6 times 7, Thea?
Sorry, 58. What is it? Fuck.
42.
It's 42. Fuck me. There's one of them that's I don't remember them anymore. This is very mean.
It's
this
okay.
Very mean, and I'm actually crying real life.
Choose on the other foot now. Get over it.
Yeah. But like one of them was that, and then and then for some of them I like couldn't come up with anything. So like 9 times 8. So like sign times skate. I just couldn't come up with anything, so I just decided that when the sign goes skating, he goes 72 miles per hour.
I mean, these are strange devices to help you remember it, but if it helped you remember it, I think that's what's important.
It did. Obviously, it's not helping anymore, but...
I mean, you got 72 correct. You just didn't get 42 correct.
Are you proud of me?
50%, I'll give it a pass.
Thank you. I'm so glad I have your approval.
Yeah, I'm glad you wanted that.
But, anyways, so that's my terrible secret.
Your terrible math secret? You can't do your times
and
tables.
anyways, the reason this reminded me of that was because for 3s, the way that I got my 3s was like a song. It was not a rhyme. It was like a song that I made up. Yeah, it was a waltz. Get it? I thought I was so funny.
Weren't you like 8 when this happened?
Yes.
And you just, at 8 years old, you knew that waltzes were in 3/4 time?
Yeah.
But
you just count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I guess if you're like more exposed to that music, it makes a little bit more sense, but huh.
Some pop music is in 3/4. Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande is 3/4.
I think one of those Ed Sheeran songs that I like is like in 6/8, but 6/8 and 3/4 are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Contrary to everyone's belief where they say, but you simplify 6/8 to get 3/4. Checkmate. Fuck off.
Well, all time signatures are just fake.
Music is not real.
Because you can just count 3/4. You can count 3/4 as 4/4.
We can just do math rock and make the most absurd illegal time signatures.
Please. No, but like I love math rock, by the way. But like you can count. You can go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it's all fake. It's just made up.
Yeah, it's just what sounds
based on
better
the way
to the
that
ear.
you write your notation. You can write anything to be like in any time signature.
Yeah, I think usually they try to go for things that have a good instrument feel.
But it's literally all in your head. Or
yeah, I guess
ears.
So. Ears and brain.
That's something that like is really funny to me. But anyway, I'll go back to the things. We're at 4.
We are at 4.
We're at 4. How
Do we
long
have
has
any
this
fun?
been so far?
It's only been an hour and 17 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it hasn't been like 2 hours.
No, we're making fine enough time. We could probably get through the entire deck, honestly.
You think so?
I think so. By like before 2 hours, I think so.
Okay, let's give it a shot. So, 4, structure, stability, manifestation, and I also kind of think of...
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you, Titali, for the raid. We're currently going through
welcome.
the meaning of cards in a playing deck. Let me give you a shout out. What were you guys up to? I hope your stream went well. I hope I spelled this correctly. There we go. Owl boy.
Owl boy.
That's
Kentucky
on
Fried
brand.
Owl.
That's really on brand. Anyways, so let's get back to the meanings here. We are on the suits of on the 4 cards right now.
You can do this, Elliot. You can do it.
I keep on saying suits.
English
be nice. I'm a math teacher. So clubs.
I just messed up like basic arithmetic.
We can each mess up things.
Yeah, it's okay. We're human. But anyways, so number 4, structure, stability, manifestation. Right. I also kind of think of this as the card of like the home.
Okay. The manifestation. Okay. So the card of the home, right?
Yeah. This is just in general, by the way.
Oh, just 4 clubs. Oh, 4 fours. Let me lasso this thing then.
Lasso her up. Get her in there, Bessie the cow. I was trying to do a cowgirl thing. Doesn't make any sense.
Didn't you do a cowgirl impression like just earlier today already?
I did. I think it was pretty good.
And you just couldn't even get it here. For shame.
It didn't.
For shame.
Didn't work. I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm a disappointment.
Anyways, I'll put that in the middle to represent the whole set of numbers.
Yes. So, this is kind of also, I think of this as like, this is your foundation. Mm-hmm. The 4, like we talked about, it's very it's very structurally sound.
Yeah.
So the the 4 of hearts could signify your foundation is on passion and spirit and love and power, which can be dangerous and rewarding. But,
yeah.
But depends on the context.
Yeah, obviously the context and what you're being read for is important.
Diamonds kind of alludes to a frame of mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to describe it, but
way of thinking.
It's like, yeah.
No, keep going.
It's kind of like the card of the state of your mind, like the way you think, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or like your logic, your personal logic.
Like I guess like seeing that in a reading would be more like to think about how you think about things, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like reflect on your own thinking.
Yeah. Very, very, very meta.
A meta card?
Meta card.
Card for cards.
Hold up, I'm gonna burp again.
Good lord.
I hope you enjoyed that.
What are we on, 3?
Yeah, no, I think that is 3, maybe 4. Maybe we'll have like one per number.
That's too much for me.
Too much. Never enough. And going on blah blah blah. Oh yeah, spades. So spades are kind of like how to describe some, like a lot of these are just like in my head, and then I wrote something really vague because I didn't want to think about it when I was writing this.
I feel that, man.
But,
I feel that.
But so I guess what I'm trying to say is, if your foundation is on spades, which spades signifies change, it means you kind of have like you're kind of a vagabond in a way. Mm-hmm. Right. You like excitement and change, and
like your foundation is a lack of foundation in a way.
Exactly. And often this can mean you kind of have trouble settling down, or maybe you don't do well with responsibility. Obviously it depends on the context.
Okay, lack of foundation.
My sister's watching TV. I don't know if you can hear that.
A little bit. All right.
Sorry, I'll turn my thing up. My sensitivity.
It's moving. All right.
Hold up. Give me 1 second.
No problem. And I'm sure that the background audio is also helping muffle the sound of your sister watching TV.
She's watching it so loud. She's watching Stranger Things. And she was watching it with me, and then she just like started watching it without asking me. So
well, that hurts.
I know, very rude. Okay, we've got the noise suppression on now.
Go.
All right, tell me if I'm cutting out or anything. But anyways, moving on.
You're not cutting out.
Cool. Clubs. So is kind of the strongest foundation, because Earth is already so grounded. This card is very sure, steady. If you're looking for a decision and you pull this clubs card, it's like, yes, do it. And can also be like a literal symbol of family or home.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when I think about like, again, thinking about like the parallels to tarot, I do like when I think about like the clubs, that's like the Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, a lot of that idea does carry over, with the Four of Pentacles being very much like, it's a little bit more greed focused, like it feels like more like keeping to yourself, but still feeling like as long as you stay to your own path, that you will go down the right path. But I see that sort of like parallels between cards in the tarot deck and like how they line up with cards in the playing card deck.
Yeah, I mean, the Pentacles, the way I think of it, kind of as you're describing, not so much greedy, but kind of like putting yourself first and self-care and stuff like that.
That's just how I interpret that specific card, not like the suit in general.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. We're flying through these. We're flying through these, Elliot.
We are. You are. I mean, because I guess part of it is that since this is based on the interpretations of the minor arcana, the minor arcana itself already doesn't have like, they're not too descriptive in comparison to like the readings of the major arcana, right? So a lot of the descriptions of these cards lining up with the minor arcana makes sense that we can pretty much fly through the descriptions.
Exactly.
We're at 5s now.
We're at 5s, yes. So 5s, like I said, are kind of the opposite of 4. We've shaken up the square, turned it into
It's like change, right? You turned it.
What's the shape?
You made fun of me. You made fun of me the last time I made this message. You cannot expect me to bail you out on this one.
What is it called? Is it a pentagon?
It's a pentagon.
Thank you. Very scared, very afraid. Anyways, 5 is the change and instability and kind of conflict card.
Change, stability. I almost forgot how to spell, and conflict.
Yeah. So yeah, when what that looks like for each suit is I'm completely blanking. I can't read. Okay.
You can't read.
It's been a long day. Okay.
I get it.
We might have to take a break halfway through.
It's understandable.
So I'm just like, I'll get water. But basically, I also can look at this. You can also look at this card as what is missing, or what do you need. So it has kind of a lot of interpretations, but
right.
So if we want to talk about heart, then that can mean either like love is missing, literal interpretation there.
Yeah.
Or it can mean, a new relationship. Or like kind of new passion for something, a new interest for something.
Could it be interpreted as like conflict in a relationship too?
Yeah, just like a change in the relationship, in the dynamic.
Change in relationship.
That's a good question, Elliot. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just going based off of like the typical like archetypical expectations of the number.
And then for diamonds, this can be a change in mindset, new knowledge. So you might have just learned something that you didn't know, whether it be just a new skill or like you just found out someone's cheating on you or something.
Oh
like that.
no,
Something
that's
crazy
bad.
Like that. So it can be good or bad.
Well, new knowledge is always just a neutral thing. It could be good, it could be bad.
Exactly.
Not necessarily inherently good or bad.
And then spades is the one everyone doesn't want to see. 5 of spades.
Ooh, that's like the bad card. Like how how no one wants to see the 3 of swords in a relationship reading.
Yeah. So this is the new changes. But it can also mean, what you're needing is change. You need a change in your life. But that's what's missing.
Of change. Okay.
But yeah.
So it's like sort of like being empty, like not having what you need and needing to have to go through changes, whether you want to or not. Okay.
Or just being, set in your ways. They say like a change of scenery can be good for productivity or whatever.
Right.
And then for clubs, we have kind of a change in your like actual environment. So like your immediate surroundings, kind of.
Change surroundings.
I've seen people like talk about this as like they always see it when like divorce comes up.
Oh.
But not in the actual divorcees. Like in the children or whatever. Like the family or whatever.
Well, yeah, because that's a big change for them too, obviously.
Yeah. So and then we've got that can also mean just like kind of it can kind of be symbolized like being used as a doormat.
The clubs?
Yeah. So
clubs like being okay.
Because, you know, the earth aspect of the clubs can mean being grounded, being you know, knowing
grounded,
what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if you're being kind of a pushover, then you need to be more grounded and sure of yourself.
Okay.
You know, it can mean you're being manipulated, or that you can't make up your mind.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Along with like the other, the 5 seem like a pretty clear-cut like set of numbers.
Yeah.
Like all the cards in these suits seem pretty much like, do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
It's
make a change.
Rough one to see. It's a rough one.
Although I guess that's not too different from the 5 in tarot either.
Yeah.
You know, like you think about the 5 of Pentacles, or like the reverse 5 of Swords, or like
yeah.
I forget what the 5 of Cups looks like. Is the 5 of Cups the one with the guy that looks really sad, like he spilled over 2 drinks? Yeah, again, like that one too. He spilled his cups of lean.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's he's like the one that looks like he's like looking out on the river.
Yeah.
He's like in a dark cloak or whatever.
And he's got like the 2 tipped over cups, but like
yeah,
he still's got 3 full cups.
I think it's 3 of them. I think 3 of them are. He's got
3 of
2
them are
full
tipped.
ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on.
Let me switch these cards over. 6s.
You can do it.
You can do it. It's a fast process. Honestly, I feel like there would be slower processes that I'd see people do either way. But I feel like the speed here isn't the worst. I think it's a fast enough change.
In my tarot reading the other day, I had to go from I had to go from one 12 card reading to another, and I had to like replace all 12 cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
I mean, it's not too bad if you're going from 12 card to 12 card, because then you don't need to even change like the layout of the cards unless you make different scenes.
It was just like changing the source was like such a pain.
Yeah.
Like, you have to like find the file, and like it was just really bad. Just made me feel cringe.
Cringe on stream cringe. I can't believe it. Who would ever do that? Not a streamer. No siree.
Never us. Here's a head pat for you.
Oh,
I feel bad just being the only one.
Thanks. I'll put that one.
Even though you have no head.
No, I know what to do here.
Do not pet your monocle, please.
Sorry, it has to be this way.
No, I'm also requesting that you bring your head back.
Okay, fair enough.
Gary.
Please.
I'm waiting until I see it on stream.
I want to zoom in.
You just flew away.
I can't zoom in on this. My scroll wheel is not working.
Thank you for not zooming in the way that you usually do.
It literally will not let me zoom in.
The way that you like flew out of the frame was so funny. Why? Oh my god, you're tiny.
I can only scroll down and not up.
You could go in my hat. You could be like the little Ratatouille in my hat.
I could control you from here. I'm power stance, but I can control the Zia from here.
Oh my god.
I would just prefer that I actually get enlarged. I need to get a new mouse, I'm pretty sure.
World's smallest teacher. No, I'm the world's smallest teacher.
No, now me.
No.
Now me. I'm just here now, actually. We're gonna do this. I'm not hiding. My head's just behind you.
Okay, whatever.
Oh god, it shrunk me further. It shrunk me further,
You're
but
lost.
It won't let me. I'm so sad. It's scuffed that I can't control because I don't have a mouse scroll wheel. This isn't something that I have any control over,
Why are
unfortunately.
You like my Ratatouille?
because the world is cruel and unkind, and I. Oh my God, we got big. We got big. There we go.
The way you fucking fly out of the.
I have to like get really big because otherwise I can't just trust like singular scrolls of the mouse wheel. So anyway.
Anyways, back to the cards. Once Elliot gets his shit together.
Please, I'm trying my best.
I didn't realize
here.
this head pat reading was gonna be so problematic.
I didn't realize it would be either, but you told me to not pet my monocle, which I can't believe you.
Yeah, I said head pat, not a monocle pat. If I wanted a monocle pat, I would have said that.
That's fair. Alright, back to the sixes.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the six cards.
So yeah, the sixes are harmony, cooperation, communication.
Harmony, cooperation, communication.
I put so much work into this notes document, by the way.
I'm so glad, and now I can just recreate them on this with really bad handwriting.
I know. I should have just given you the document.
No, I think it's more fun to take notes.
Definitely so. Definitely feels more like a teacher to hear you taking notes.
Exactly.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
No, I'm not. I'm just autopiloting this. I'm actually asleep. I'm astral projecting right now. You're not actually talking to the real Elliot Ambers.
When I was in high school, I used to listen to music in my hearing aids. In class. Evil moment. It was like, and they'd be like, "Are you paying attention?" I'd be like, yeah." And they'd be like, and then I'm just like listening to like something awful in my headphones.
You're just listening to not the lesson. It's okay.
Not anything but the lesson.
Nowadays,
and my friends would my friends would take my phone and like play like really loud like hentai moans or something in my ear.
Why do your friends just have easy access to get your phone onto hentai moans?
It's called Google.com. Like if I'm actually doing something, like if I'm drawing, they can just pick up my phone and just type in hentai moans.
I see. You know, that sounds like high school pranks.
Yeah, it was actually pretty funny the first couple times, but then I have to like yank my hearing aids out of my ears.
Oh.
So, you know.
Yeah. So.
Not my favorite.
Let's go to the cards.
Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
We can do this. I can do this.
We can have enough brain cells to focus on the cards for just long enough.
Okay, we're number 6. Okay.
Number 6.
Number 6. So we've got communication, cooperation, harmony. So when that's hearts, that's just like a really good like romantic love card.
Right.
And it can also kind of symbolize like devotion and loyalty.
All right, romantic love and devotion and loyalty. I'll just write loyalty. Everyone had a hentai soundboard on their phone, of course. Anyway.
What?
Nothing, I'm just reading the chat.
Oh, okay, I thought you just said that. I was like, okay.
You don't?
You guys don't? Fucking weirdos. So, we've got, diamonds.
Diamonds, which is?
It's kind of like in clarity.
Okay, clarity. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
like you're at one with the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you understand something now that you didn't understand before.
More like the thoughts as opposed to like anything like.
Spades is a good sign that any like conflict or kind of troubled waters will kind of calm.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, conflict resolution.
And then clubs is kind of like it's the card of like truth and honesty.
Okay.
It can be like a sign to like be honest. Or that, you know, maybe something isn't as it seems and that you need to seek kind of the underlying truth of the matter.
That makes sense.
Are we ready to move on?
We are ready to move on. We could actually get through 2 suits back to back in a reasonable speed.
It's insane. It's insane.
Or 2 numbers. I'm never gonna stop saying suits.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have brain rot. That's just how it is.
I'm
Sometimes.
fully aware.
Wow. We all have brain rot. We're VTubers.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me, Elliot. I've witnessed it firsthand.
Excuse me. I feel like I'm being called out for something here that I shouldn't be called out for.
I am absolutely on the offensive during this stream.
Of course you are. 42.
It's very me. Okay, moving on. 7.
7.
We have it's kind of like knowledge and reflection, but also I kind of think of it as like the school card.
The school card?
Or like education.
Like related to academics?
Yes, yeah, or like, learning.
Okay.
Or kind of scholarly pursuits. I don't know, I think of it as very...
No, that tracks. That's an understandable, like, thing. Like, and academics doesn't even have to be, like, school related. It could just be in relation to, like, a pursuit of that you're trying to learn, like a new talent or, like, a new skill that you want to develop. Like, I think that kind of all falls in.
We talked about 7 being quirked up. Being kind of like a Sigma male card.
You know, if you just take 7 and then flip 7 upside down, right? Like, if you do that, like, 7...
And it's like a line with another line.
And then upside down. That's actually... And then you flip it reverse, it becomes the Sigma character. So, like, it becomes...
You're hurting my brain, stop.
You're the one who started on this. I'm just following up what you're giving to me. I'm just doing the layup, the alley-oop, you know?
So you can't just flip it. You have to also mirror it across.
You have to flip it and then mirror it. Yeah, and
across the whatever axis that is.
The y-axis.
Thank you. Thank you. It has not been that long since I was in high school math.
Yeah.
It has not been that long.
Like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And
I don't think I ever had it in the first place.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, moving on. So yeah. So hearts can mean kind of like a zest for learning. But it kind of like is in my head. It's like the ADD card where like you need constant information to feel stimulated.
It's like you need to be watching like streams of videos. Like, you can't watch a 1 hour long video on the topic. You gotta be like, you gotta have like those like short 1 minute shorts. Like the funny, like when I was learning Japanese, there was this guy who made little short sketches. His name was Dogen, and I'd be learning things, but like he would make it in like really short, easy to digest videos. Otherwise, I would just lose interest.
And then it can also be like a sign. This is completely unrelated and kind of the other interpretation of the card. It can be like a sign that maybe you need to be single right now. Because it's the Sigma male card and it's up with love and passion. That
is the Sigma male card. I'm gonna do a reading for myself later tonight, and then I'm gonna get the 7 of Hearts, and I'm gonna realize, yes, I have to follow my Sigma grind set.
And that you're smart.
And that I'm smart.
So it's gonna come up all 7s.
It's all 7s.
Yeah, because next up we've got kind of someone who's like expertly studious by nature in Diamonds.
Diamonds is studious by nature.
But also this person can be, like, I'm kind of personifying the card here.
Yeah.
Kind of cold, analytic.
Analytic.
Not having a very high, like, emotional intelligence.
I guess if I see it from, like, the point of view of, like, interpreting it as a message, it would be like, like, focusing on the objective rather than the emotional, I guess.
It can also be kind of a wary thing, though. It can be like you are overly.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You need to open up a little bit.
Yeah, you need to have some empathy.
Oh, that's really sad when you lose a tarot deck, Taito.
What the fuck? That's so sad.
Like, if I had lost my first Rider-Waite deck, I know the cards got bent, but I still own my Rider-Waite deck. It's still...
What was it? 7 of Wands?
It was a 7 of Wands that got bent. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the right deck for you. Maybe you just need someone to gift you a tarot deck, and that'll be the one for you.
Yeah. Some people say it's bad luck to buy your first one, but I don't know if I believe that. I do think it's good luck to get it as a gift, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's Diamonds. And spades can kind of imply like kind of like an experience that teaches you something.
What?
Like changes the way that you think.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's like it's a sign that like you're gonna have some kind of like not like a revelation, but you open
like
your eyes to
something's gonna happen
new.
that's gonna change your worldview, I guess.
Yeah. So big change. Big change of viewpoint. Not necessarily like a change in your life, but like a change in the way you see things.
Yeah, like okay. I'm like kind of thinking of like when people go on acid and then they come back and they're like,
bro, I just got 7 of spaded.
yeah, I know. That's like kind of what I associate this with.
Okay. That life-changing event. Sometimes you just trip real hard, and then you see the universe and the cosmos all at once.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, we have clubs, which is kind of the street smarts card.
Street smarts!
Yeah. Kind of just like being worldly wise.
Right. World-wise.
Worldwide, baby.
Mr. Worldwise.
Exactly. Mr. Worldwise is the 7 of clubs.
It's like the clubs are like round like the top of Pitbull's head, I think. Pitbull's bald, right?
You're right. And he's always in the club.
Ooh, we got it. That's the mnemonic that I use to remember 7 of clubs.
Fuck.
The 7s are the lucky number. See?
Oh my god.
Even now, even at this age, we can make stupid, silly associations.
I know, I don't have to come up with my little rhymes anymore.
Yeah, you can just think about Mr. Worldwide and whatever the song he sings where he says Mr. Worldwide.
Implying like, I'm not always thinking about that.
I don't know. I don't know how often someone perpetually thinks about Pitbull. I don't even know half his songs.
I feel like you're judging me for this.
I think he wrote like a song with Kesha at some point.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Yeah, I think my favorite line in that song is face down, booty up, timber.
Actually, this is another tangent, but
yes.
When I was a camp counselor, I worked for the Girl Scouts.
Yes.
And there was like a terrible like accident where a bunch of Boy Scouts got at like a different camp got like crushed in their tent by a tree.
Oh no! What? They died?
They died. And
you're laughing. They died, and you're laughing.
That's not the funny part. That's not the funny part. So my camp like posted like a message, and they were like, "We are so sorry to hear about this, blah blah blah." And then the next post was like the girls dancing to Timber.
No, no.
It was so funny.
There's tone deaf, and then there's that.
It was.
They died. Oh my god.
I usually have to keep my dark humor on the lockdown.
Dude, you just unleash it on my channel?
Yeah. Why not?
Fair play.
Alright.
I think the timber really just gets me.
It's really fucking funny. Like, it's really funny.
So what does the AIDS what does the AIDS say for us?
Hang on. Because, like, I saw the video.
Did you find the video?
I was there.
Oh, right.
When we filmed the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know they were gonna post it after the
After the tree fell.
I didn't. And the girls are like, "It's going down." They're like doing like the whip and the nay-nay.
No, not Girl Scouts doing the whip and the nay-nay to Timber.
Anyway, so eight. Can we take a break?
Do you need to take a 5-minute break before we finish the rest of the deck?
I need to take a 5-minute break.
All right, Zia needs to take a break, so we'll take 5 and we'll be back in a little bit. He needs an idle break.
Yeah.
You can just mute, and I will keep everyone entertained as you go.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Of course, just make a funny sound when you get back.
Okay.
She's gone. Now we can tell her that Now we can talk smack about Zia behind her back. I'm not really good at talking smack behind people's back though. So you guys can do that. I'm not gonna do it because then she's gonna watch the VOD and then she's gonna bully me, and that wouldn't be fair. Anyway, oi up, this is a guard. There's been reports of witchcraft. Oh, if you think what's happening here, Zeta, is witchcraft, then you really missed like the entire spiel that we had at the start of the stream, where we were talking about all the different kinds of divination that Zia does. Because all I know how to do is just tarot reading. So I'm like, I have minor investment in witchcraft. But Zia, she was talking about how she did like palmistry and tea leaf readings, and she like reads crystal balls, which I still don't understand how one reads crystal balls. I think my roommate wanted to get into like divination through like a scrying mirror, which is supposed to be like a black like mirror made out of like some weird material. But like, I don't know. I'm happy with tarot reading. Like, I'm happy with my cards. Zia's absolutely hella cool. She does a lot of witchcraft, or she does a lot of divination, and she's also a great singer. We actually did a cover recently. But also, let me shout out Zia because she's not here right now to see that I'm gonna shout her out. I really want to start a fire with a crystal ball. Yeah, she was talking about how she also did like fire scrying too, which I think is like doing a fire in a crystal ball, which are crystal balls hollow? Yeah, it's regular old obsidian. Tarot was your main jam, but getting into others would be cool, yeah. At a point I wanted to get into rune reading, but I never got my rune set. It like never came into the mail. And neither did the really cool rune set that I got for Wisteria either. I wanted to get her a rune set of bone runes, like runes made out of bone, but like it got lost in shipping or something, so it never came, and I was like really sad about that one. But I think other forms of divination that I was interested in learning was like cartomancy, obviously, because, you know, I tout myself as a seer, but a lot of times when cards are drawn in like art that gets commissioned for me, it's playing cards, and I don't know how to do cartomancy, so it's like, yeah, I just have these funny playing cards, but if you ever come to my channel asking for a reading with the playing cards, you're not gonna get one. And I feel like a cheater, I feel like a thief presenting something like that and not actually being able to deliver. So I need to learn, so Zia's here to help me learn. So I think she's recovering right now. I think she needed to take
Somebody once told me the world is gonna...
Welcome back. Hello?
Hello?
Welcome back.
I'm sorry.
Hi. Wow. Not expected, but I hope your little idle break was good.
There's gonna be a running gag now.
Are you just gonna randomly just come into my channel with like a link to All-Star when I'm not in a Discord call that you can blast All-Star into?
I'm gonna like hack into your computer.
Please, there was like that one like running gag that went across some websites where it was like, if you see this picture of Hirohito Araki, it's actually cursed with a bug that will play a really loud noise on your computer at an undetermined time, and there's no way for you to remove it. It's not a real thing.
I know, but that's scary.
Like, imagine just like it's on your computer and it's like 3 a.m. and you mute your volume because you think it'll stop the virus, and it just blasts All-Star by Smash Mouth.
You said, I never knew how effective of a jump scare that could be. Yeah, you should have seen him the other night.
Shut up. Everything was an effective jump scare that night. I'm just not good at horror games.
Me neither. I can't blame you. All right,
Anyway,
let's get back into it. Number 8.
Number 8. Number 8.
Number 8, Burger. I can't finish that. Okay.
That's fine. You don't need
to. I actually know like the whole thing, but next up, I can't memorize the fucking multiplication tables. I can memorize Burger.
Anyway.
So we've got number 8 is like mastery, action, accomplishment.
Okay, mastery, right? Action.
Also, did you say that fire scrying was a fire in a crystal ball?
I thought. Did you hear that? Were you able to hear everything that was going on?
Yes, I had it playing in the background, so I got water.
Oh. You said mastery, action, what else?
Accomplishment.
Accomplishment, okay.
It's just looking at a fire. It's like reading tea leaves, but in a fire.
Oh, it's looking at a fire. I thought you said
Yeah.
in a crystal ball earlier today.
No.
Okay.
No, scrying is crystal ball.
Let's see. So now, what do the suits mean?
So,
You okay?
So, yeah, I'm fine. So, wow. Number 8.
Number
I'm
8.
so sorry. I'm literally losing it. I'm literally losing it.
Are you fumbling through your notes?
Yeah.
It happens. You know, sometimes you just have a lot of papers.
Too many papers, too many documents. Documents is 7 pages long. So hearts is like love and passion, and so if you are, this is kind of like the lady killer card, I guess. Like,
okay.
You're like kind of a player.
Killer.
Like it's kind of like, you know, it symbolizes kind of more casual relationships.
Okay. Casual.
Just like lots of relationships, I guess.
Okay, casual / a lot of relationships. So it represents like it's the whore card then.
Yes, 100%. Perfect card for Elliot.
Wow.
Yep, I went there.
I can't believe I'm just being called a whore on my own channel now.
Yep. This is what happens when you let me onto your stream.
I guess I can't argue against that.
Anyways, moving on to time. So we've got knowledge. We've got knowledge and mysticism. So basically, when that's number 8, it's like a I guess like a STEM and like scholarly stuff,
right.
which we kind of talked about before. But like
right,
this is like a little bit more
it's like reaching that enlightenment.
Yeah. Or just like, you know, knowledge and responsibility, like as like mastery of that.
Like, you know, like you're about to like get a good ass grade on a paper or something.
Yeah. Or just like critical thinking, like this is like a sign that you have really strong skills in,
right.
That, whatever the context may be, there is strong skill or like emphasis on that area.
Precision.
And then we've got spades. So for spades, it's I kind of think of these as like different types of people. I very much personify the 8s.
Okay.
And the spades are very much caretakers, healers. You know, they have a loving nature.
Okay.
They are very keen on helping people and communities.
Helpful. Okay.
And then clubs is kind of very much family oriented.
Okay.
Or you can interpret it as like activism or kind of like the stuff I do.
Activist.
Like and like environmental stuff.
Right. So activist, environmentally conscious, that kind of stuff. And environmentally, I am not a fast writer.
All of the 8s are difficult to describe without a contextual.
Right, like it's like how you talked about the 3s being cards that really are easier to relate to when you see the cards that are surrounding them. These are all like personified, very like personifications. Like, let me just write this. 8s typically can represent or like people or personifications. People. There we go. That works. So instead of just like being like a direct meaning to something, it's usually more indicative of, you know, someone or some person who is like very like accomplished or skilled in some sort of aspect, whether it's like knowledge or relationships or nurturing.
Did you
Makes
catch
sense.
that? Did you catch the burp?
I think
I need to lower my sensitivity.
Yeah.
It's going down. Timber.
I was saved by Stranger Things, apparently.
Yeah.
Let's go and swap these cards over. Just that. Do we count that? Do we count that as like 4? now? It was at 4 or 5.
That was 5, I think.
We'll count it as 4.5 because it didn't get audible.
You know, I have a burp counter on my stream.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I don't want one on my stream. I don't have the energy for that. Anytime one of those is about to pop, I just mute.
I can't be bothered. It's too often. I get so anxious, and then it messes with my stomach. Everyone's like, do you drink soda? I literally haven't had soda in like 2 years.
What about sparkling water?
I hate sparkling water.
I have this entire cut bottle of ginger lime mule polar seltzer right in front of me. It's pretty good.
You fucking would.
Yeah.
That's like nerd. That's nerd juice.
Did you just call flavored seltzer nerd juice?
Yes.
It's rich coming from a VTuber.
Shut up. Oh my god. I'm literally just normal.
Yeah, normal. You're a VTuber.
I'm the normalest VTuber.
No doubt. I can think of many normal people VTubers. I don't think any of them burp. What? VTuber shoes? What? Welcome, VTuber shoes. With a follow. There's no feet on stream. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, I just tucked my legs under myself, IRL.
Out of like a reflex of fear.
Yeah.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at the 9s right now.
From my couch bed.
Oh god, I tried also tucking my legs under my feet, and then I pulled my mic into my face. That's fine.
This is like not the first time you've headbutted your mic.
No, it's not. Anyway.
Okay. Anyways, we can do it.
We're so close.
Okay. So we talked about if number 7 is like attainment of knowledge, number 8 is mastery, 9 is fruition.
Okay, fruition.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Got hungry.
Yeah, he was hungry.
He was hungry for mastery and came to fruition.
Exactly. So it's
so
kind of fruition, attainment, fulfillment, number 4.
Pop. Fulfillment.
Remind me to tell you after stream about my middle school math teacher who legit had like a fetish for numbers.
I'm probably not going to, but I hope you remember.
Okay. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna tell you about that. I'm writing that down to tell you about.
Damn it.
Maybe I'll talk about it on stream one day.
Sure.
Okay, so moving on, we can do this. So we've got hearts, which is kind of like I have interpreted it in a couple different ways. So like when like a long and drawn out like lead up to a relationship has finally come to fruition.
Okay. So a long, like, how am I gonna word this in short
Yeah,
word?
I don't know. I don't know. I tried.
Relationship. I can't even spell. Why did I put an R there? There's no R in relationship aside from the first letter. Relation.
It's like there's definitely an R in relationship.
Ship. I'm just gonna write the whole thing out to fruition. That's it. That's all we can do.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. And the other ways you can kind of interpret it are like I've kind of seen it interpreted as like instant gratification.
Okay.
So
I
like
guess fulfillment, yeah.
Yeah, like seeking fulfillment or like kind of trying to fill that hole.
Okay. Makes sense with the heart.
So we've got for diamonds, it's like 9s are hard. So for
it's
diamonds,
like every other number.
it's like finally, all your hard work is paying off, but specifically within an area of knowledge.
Yeah.
So like you finally understand.
Yeah.
And you finally are able to like put that knowledge to use. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm getting less and less concise as this is going on.
That's fine. It's, you know, we started really fast, and like sometimes some cards, it's just how it is. Like some cards are really more obvious. Like obviously like the aces and like the 2s and 3s, they are a lot more obvious, but like I get that like some of the later ones can be a little bit more obscure in their meaning, so it requires a lot more to explain. So it's not like it's...
We only have 4 left. We have 4 left.
We do.
So yeah. And then where was I?
You did diamonds.
Oh yeah, I did diamonds. So the next one is kind of the ultimate, like, I don't know, it's like satisfaction.
Is it spades?
Huh?
Or is it still diamonds? Oh.
No. This is spades.
Okay.
It's like satisfaction, like a satisfying ending to something.
Right. Satisfaction.
It's like satisfying conclusion.
Good conclusion. It's sort of like the end of a journey. It's not... I guess that's kind of similar to the world, you know? Like the world representing the end of a journey, but I guess it's kind of random for it to be on the 9 of spades, but it's probably just not as heavily weighed as, say, the world is in its meaning.
And I also feel like the world also has an implication that it's going to all happen again.
Right, the rebirth cycle.
Yes. Whereas spades, not so much.
It's just the end of something and not necessarily a new beginning.
And then we have clubs. So clubs is like... How to explain this? Why didn't I take better notes? So
I feel that.
Clubs is kind of like roots that run deep. Like, you know, strong ties, I guess.
Okay. Strong ties. Or like, you know, like bonds being strengthened, I guess.
Yeah. You got it. Thank you.
There you go. I can also interpret things like this.
Yes, I'm proud of you.
I too divine things. Hey, wait. I feel like I'm being condescended on.
No, you are. You are.
Okay.
I really enjoy your readings.
I'm glad you do.
Like even the short reading that you did for me the other night was really, really good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's always fun to like do readings for people and also get readings from others. It's always interesting to see how different people read. Shut up, Floop.
Have I given you a reading before?
You did. I asked for a reading on like one of your first tarot streams.
Really? I guess I didn't really know you yet.
No.
So it doesn't stick out to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Funny.
I don't stand out.
No, you're just another face in my many.
In the crowd.
Yeah, my many fans. You know, my adoring
your adoring audience, the Xenoids.
Yes. The Xenoids. I never use that word.
It's the name of your server.
Fucking weird. I know.
My brother in Christ, you chose the fan name.
There's literally nothing else. I thought so hard about it. Okay. I literally was like using so much brain power trying to come up with a name. I was like Greek. But yeah.
Anyway.
So 10.
And I'm a 10.
Bold claim.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, I have self-confidence, so I don't even care that you said that.
Yeah. You can say that if it makes you feel better.
It will. It will make me feel better.
Okay, I'm glad. Have you replaced the cards?
I have replaced the cards.
Okay. All right. We've got for 10 completion, end of a cycle, renewal.
Completion, renewal.
So, it's like for okay, for hearts,
You'll be all right.
It's like obviously end of a relationship.
Okay, end of relationship.
And then for diamonds, it's kind of can symbolize like forgetting something, or like loss of something.
Loss of
important,
knowledge.
like knowledge, like important knowledge, or kind of like having the wrong priorities.
Yeah. Loss of priority. I guess loss of priorities. That makes sense. Priorities. Like maybe like what you were studying wasn't what was the right focus.
Right. for spades, it's quite literally death.
Okay.
That's like real death, like legit death.
I didn't realize that there were cards in Cartomancy that just straight up say, I diagnose you with die.
Well, it doesn't mean you're gonna die.
Someone's gonna die.
Yeah, well, it can also mean just like the generic like.
Right. Oh, right. Spiritual death.
End of something or spiritual death. Yeah.
Well, you said literally death, so.
That's how I usually interpret it. It depends on the context.
Like
if someone's doing a love reading and this pulls up, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna die.
You're gonna be like, yeah, sorry, buddy, this shit sucks.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be like, okay, well, maybe you guys need a change because.
Have you considered breaking up?
or just like a change, like maybe they need some action in the bedroom.
What the? I mean.
That is a very common.
You're right.
Problem.
You're right. I guess.
That is a very common problem.
Couldn't be me.
Okay. Anyway. Could never be you.
Clubs.
Clubs. So that's like. I don't really know. I can't think.
Do you take notes on this?
I need to look at my notes. I've been trying to remember.
You're allowed.
It's like life finds a way. That's what I wrote down.
Life finds a way. I mean, that makes sense.
Life finds a way. Yeah.
It's like in the sense that like the Wheel of Fortune, when I turn that card, it's like things will happen, and you kind of just like, for better or for worse, the course that life chooses is going to be what it does, and you'll get there regardless.
And when I see like this card, I kind of think like in the face of adversity.
Right. Like when you're like worried about your plans, like somehow everything's gonna resolve itself in a way that works out. Okay.
Exactly.
Like that's a fine enough way to symbolize that, even if it doesn't like have like the funny buzzwords. It's a phrase, and that's good enough.
Mhm.
All right. So that's the tens.
Okay.
You good?
Okay.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
I'm literally laying down right now.
I know that your streams go usually a lot shorter than this.
Where are we at?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Not a lot shorter. Like this length.
This length, right.
This is where I stopped, and this has been very heavy thinking.
Yeah, your brain has been on the entire time.
And I had a collab before this, so
you did.
You know what?
So you've basically been streaming for like 4 hours at this point.
Yeah, I'm basically have gone beast mode.
You're cracked.
No, you did 12 hours, so I really can't say shit.
I did 12 hours and then woke up after 3 hours of sleep to work.
Well, you did this to yourself.
Shut up.
But what was I talking about? Distracting me, Elliot. You can't just... Okay. Jax. So Jax. So we're talking about kind of like a curiosity and movement are the two themes of the Jax, right?
Curiosity and movement. Okay.
So we have kind of new romantic prospects for hearts.
Okay.
Or kind of like discovering like new, I don't want to say like preferences, I don't know what the word is, like
your tastes change?
Yeah, like, but like how do you say that in like a less gross way?
Your desires have been revealed in your mind's eye.
Yeah, like a change in desires. I think that's really good.
Change in desires.
Or just like not even change, just discovery of desires. Like I guess like a kind of coming of age. There you go.
Right. That matches with the Jax being like more youthful figures.
Exactly. Dude, my fucking brain is enormous. So.
Yes, you're doing very well.
Thank you. So next up we have diamonds. So this is very much like the apprentice card. You are learning something. You're learning it from some source or someone, and you just like don't know shit. That's basically this. It's like you need to humble yourself.
Ignorance.
Yes. but like you're getting there though. Like you're not like blissfully unaware.
Right.
You're still starting out. You're still learning.
Right.
That's basically this card. Is you're still learning.
It's like effort through ignorance. Like you know that you don't know shit, so you're trying to better yourself and learn the shit that you don't know. Okay.
And then up next we have spades. So this is kind of a different way of coming of age. I guess this is just like the natural. It's like a sign of a new period of your life, right? So like you're kind of coming into your own in a way.
Right. So it's sort of like a new period in life. Nice.
Did that one go through?
Barely.
Fuck!
It was like a little muffled, but I heard it all, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm glad. Okay. And then finally we have clubs. So this is kind of like circle of life type beat. But also just like what's so funny?
I don't know why that sounded so funny. It was just a circle of life type beat. Okay, explain.
So to elaborate, it's like kind of just like learning the ways of the world, I guess.
Okay. Learning.
And yeah, like learning how the ways of the world. I think that's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm right. Okay, 2 more.
There's 8 more cards you have to go through.
Don't say it like that.
You've already gone through 46 cards.
Please don't do math.
I did math wrong.
Me.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Did it wrong. It's 44 cards. Welcome.
Oh my god. We did it, Reddit.
Went through 44 cards. Wow. It's not... you're celebrating that I got my math wrong.
I am literally preying on your downfall, Elliot.
When everyone else that watches me.
No! I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
anyway.
everyone who showed up to your subathon and gave you 5 million bajillion subs was preying on your downfall, Elliot.
That's Frey. That's fair. I saw them vote on... I saw them vote on me and I want to be the guy.
Fuck, I miss my wife.
Yeah, that too. That too. That too. That was an entire whole... Sheesh.
I didn't vote on that one. I felt bad. And then I did roast you later though.
Yeah, that happens. Oh yeah, I'll could summon a Wiggly. So what do you have to say about the queens?
Oh, I thought you were summoning
What?
I thought you were summoning Wigglies.
I did summon a Wiggly. He's there.
Oh, I just couldn't see it because it's delayed. Anyway, fuck. Okay. So the queens. So hearts. So this is kind of like feminine strength.
Okay.
We have kind of. She's kind of like a girl boss.
I knew you were going to go there, and I'm so mad. I'm gonna write it anyway.
She's like a girl boss, and like honestly, she's like kind of like a dommy mommy.
I'm not writing that. I'm not writing that.
Please.
Here. I'm gonna write it, but I'm writing it in green so that everyone knows that you are the one who said it. That you insisted.
They're asking how you feel after the 12-hour stream.
Oh, I feel fine. I'm bad at sleeping, so I didn't sleep a lot, but I'm feeling fine. I had a busy day, but I'm doing good.
You're terrible at sleeping.
Sleeping's hard.
Always doing something else instead of sleeping.
Yeah, staying up late and just talking to people on the internet or just scrolling through my Twitter timeline because Twitter's a hellscape. Very productive choices over sleeping. I will tell you all.
I think it's productive. I think it's very productive.
It's a fucking mistake.
I encourage you to continue to do it.
Anyway.
So the queen, that's Queen of Hearts. I mean, everyone knows what Queen of Hearts means. Like, think about Alice in Wonderland, right?
She's like a girl boss dictator who wants to kill people that go against what she likes.
Precisely.
Can you word that better?
So it's just like, it's Queen of Hearts, bro. Okay. So feminine strength, And then just like the ruler of love and desire. Like she's literally the ruler of love and desire. Like she's got everyone like plays into her whole thing.
I see.
She's literally just a girl boss, Elliot. I think you can comprehend this.
I guess I
don't
can.
think this is too hard for you.
I guess I now understand. Now that you've said it for the third time, I think I finally understand what you're getting at here.
Okay.
I think the other description's better, though.
I like how, at this point, instead of describing the thing, I'm just, like, vaguely suggesting what I'm trying to say, and then just leave it up to you.
It's I figure it out based on the words that you give me. It's like an ad-libs.
I just, like, throw out keywords. I'm just like, Dami Mommy. And you're like, okay.
Okay, sure. I get it. Sure. Yeah, whatever.
That kind of, sort of makes sense, kind of.
So,
but
like,
I mean, the great thing about this is that as you, do your own readings, you kind of learn your own interpretations of the cards. So it's not like I'm gonna give you a test and you're gonna fail.
So when I do my own reading for this tonight and I get like 4 queens to appear, am I gonna just get like Roop Dami Mommy sessioned?
Yes. I think that was gonna happen anyway.
What? Knowing
you. Sorry.
You know things I don't.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry, everybody.
Wait, did you see my future better than I saw my own future?
I mean, it's kind of just a logical conclusion.
Okay. Anyways, let's move on.
It's just intuition. All right. So we've got diamonds. So very much like. All of these are kind of the suit itself, but with like a feminine spin. Like
okay.
So this one is very much, like we talked about before, kind of the divine feminine knowing something that can't be known.
So this is like the high priestess, kinda.
Yes, this is very much like the high priestess.
I'm just gonna write that because that's notes that I understand.
Okay, yeah, she's like literally the high priestess. So we have, it often can imply spirituality.
Right, intuition.
Intuition, yes. You understand.
I get it. I read a card.
And then
I read a tarot card sometimes.
Spades is like literally a crazy ass bitch. Queen of Spades. She's literally fucking insane. She's just like the queen of like emotion and stress and like shit like this.
Oh, so did you see what I wrote to represent that? Also, welcome Yaradomo, thank you for the raid.
Please, I told you that I
Sorry.
thought it was 1 homestuck a day.
Sorry, I had to break the rules.
1. And this is like number 4 for you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know what they say, you can't stop the homestuck.
Please stop.
Please stop.
Please, I am requesting that you cease.
No.
I put it on your mind yesterday. I brought it to the forefront of your mind.
And now it's just there.
Yesterday with the fucking tier list.
Right. But for those of you coming in, we are actually going through all the we're going through the meanings of all the cards in the playing card deck through the lens of Cartomancy, and we are currently on the suit of queens. Yes, Frankie, it does say girl boss there.
Girl boss there.
I wrote girl boss because I understood what she meant by that, and then
it also says Dami Mommy.
She insisted
Vriska from Homestuck.
She insisted that the queens represent Dami Mommies, but I didn't want to write it, so I wrote it in green to remind everyone that that's not what I wanted to write. She insisted that I write Dami Mommy.
I didn't insist anything.
Yes, you did.
No.
I can rewind the VOD right now and see that you said to write Dami Mommy.
Let's
caught in 4K.
We don't have to. No, it's okay. It's
anyway,
fine. Don't worry about it. Fucking. This is the crazy ass bitch. This is like the crazy bitch. Queen of Spades. Spades.
Oh.
This is Vriska.
Crazy woman. I'm not gonna write bitch because that's a slur.
Is that a slur?
I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like women are more allowed to say it than me, so I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, she's not real.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna say the B word.
The B word.
I've been trained for many years to not say it, so I'm not gonna say it.
I can respect that.
Our God's favorite princesses.
Elliot respects women.
I am a women respecter, above all else.
Above all else.
I was wife
So
guy
true.
prime and also women respecter.
So true. Literal male wife.
Anyway, clubs.
She's got, this is kind of like the druid. This is like Hess.
Oh, okay.
This is like goddess of the forest.
Okay,
type,
so like
beat.
So like
and
a
then,
hippie.
Yes, but like more Hess.
Okay. Thought Elliot was a gamer. I'm just gonna Hesper
He's a gamer and he doesn't even hate women?
I don't hate women. This has devolved so hard across, like, from the ace all the way up to the final suits. I feel like we've devolved.
I'm gonna clip just you saying I don't hate women. I'm just gonna like set that as my ringtone.
I respect women. So the Queen of Clubs loves BL.
Likes BL. You know what? She probably does.
She probably would.
But I'm just thinking like Hess's lore, you know?
Yeah, her design and her appearance.
Yes.
That whole air that she carries around her.
Dude, yeah.
Druid-like.
Yes. And then she also like is the bridge between the physical and spiritual.
Okay, that's more important to write, I think.
Than like Hess.
This is more descriptive. Vriska still stays because that's really descriptive. Bridge between gets one between spiritual and physical.
I literally have no thoughts at this point. I just need you to know that. I'm literally like,
you're trying your best.
I'm trying so
it's
hard.
all right. You have made it through 48 cards. How do you feel right now?
Pretty bad.
You made it through 40 cards and a whole lecture on Cartomancy versus tarot reading.
Oh yeah, that was like a whole thing.
That was like the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay, I forgot about that.
You forgore the whole thing?
I forgore. When I stream, I just get possessed by somebody else.
You
I don't
just
know if you
astral
know,
project.
have I told you about this? I literally just leave my body and somebody else comes
I thought
in
that
and
was
streams for me.
I thought that was just because of the lean.
I mean, I thought it was too until I stopped drinking the lean.
And then it turns out you just astral project when you stream.
I also just find it really funny that I was just like on the lean for like my first 2 weeks of streaming. Like, what the fuck?
The cough syrup hits different.
It does. Okay, anyway. King! Fucking the king. Okay.
Short kings rise up.
Short kings rise up. That's so true, though. Love me a short king. But anyways, I don't know if these kings have heights.
Not canon. I can't wait to figure out which of the kings in the playing card deck is the actual certified manlet. I
would
that lore.
say like there's two of them. I would say the King of Hearts is like has like a Napoleon complex.
You think about these things?
And then I am now. You put it into my head. And then I feel like the King of Spades is like the real short king.
How did we have the same exact real short king in our head? I was just gonna say the King of Spades too. Something about his face, I think, really screams like I'm short.
Yeah, I agree. But he's just like, okay, I'm about to get into these guys because they're very like silly.
Are we
they're,
about
like,
to
very,
arrange the playing card the playing card suits BL eroge?
Yes, please. Actually that would be really cool. But like
Rofa,
not necessarily
welcome.
as an arrogant, but just like as a personification.
I feel like that's gotta have happened already.
Yeah, but like as a dating sim though.
Welcome, Atropa. Were you guys? Oh, you were doing makers and crafting. God damn it! I hope your stream went well. We are actually wrapping up. We are almost at the end of the entire deck. We've talked about the meanings of every card so far, except for the kings, and I think Zia's brain is starting to fry.
Starting to.
Has been frying for the past 30.
And crafting and makering.
Yeah, what were you making, Atropa? Were you making some fun leather again?
That's so fun. I fucking love leatherworking.
There's a lot of crafting.
This is a fucking big passion of mine. The Girl Scout in me Bruh. Hella leatherworking.
We're talking about cartomancy and interpreting the meanings of playing cards.
Yes. In a similar fashion to tarot, you were repairing a typewriter. That's fucking badass.
And writing angry letters.
That's even more badass.
Honestly, that's a lot of just power.
That is.
I wish I had a typewriter.
Extremely powerful stream.
Just
okay.
okay.
We can do it. We can do it. Elliot.
Focus.
Elliot, I need your support in this moment.
Okay, might have it.
Okay.
You can do this.
I can do it. So, King of Hearts is like, he's like Zeus. Okay, he's like Zeus. He's like
Zeus?
Raw power.
Is it a UE or EU?
EU.
Zeus. Bucks to survive.
Literally, he's just like raw power, but he can be like equally like destructive and like tyrannical and oppressive.
Yeah.
He's just Zeus. He's pretty much Zeus.
Also, we didn't write the meanings. I assume you didn't write the general meaning of kings in the middle, I don't think.
Oh, just masculine.
And like tradition, right?
Yeah, masculine, tradition, and leadership.
Tradition.
You know. Look at his stupid face, bro. King of Hearts.
As long as those lips aren't being sang out with any particular passage packages, it's fine. Yeah, he does have a stupid face. He does look like he would channel that Zeus energy.
Bitch ass. Okay.
So we transformed to the swans and other kinky things. We literally just come back fucks to survive, so yes. Anyway.
Anyway. Sorry. So next we have the King of Diamonds, who's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a character. He's like Yoda or something. Please don't. Please, I'm literally begging you not to.
Read my cards, they
Please,
need.
no. Crying and throwing up. But he's just like Yoda. He's like, you know, wisdom and knowledge, and he's like the guide, like the kind of like this like mentor. That's the word. Mentor.
Right. I think wise guiding figure works well enough. That's like the same thing as a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense for like the kings, queens, and jacks that we're using like character names for this, because like a lot of times, like I remember like the court cards in tarot also a lot of times can represent like people. So giving that sort of like frame of reference to other like characters in fiction sort of helps sort of understand and internalize like the kind of character archetypes each of these face cards represent.
And they're very archetypical, yeah.
Yeah. So what are spades?
I just burped again, but I don't know if you heard it.
It sounded like you like moved your chair.
That's so sad.
Sorry.
He's like the tricky guy. He's like very tricky. He's the god of the underworld. So
spades?
Yeah.
So like the god of the underworld, like Hades, or like
no, just like in general, like the archetype of the god of the underworld. Like
you said tricky,
just like,
so I thought like Loki.
Oh no, he's just like sneaky or like secretive or like esoteric.
Sneaky.
He's like
esoteric.
But he's very like wise. Like he knows like
also wise. Knows more than they let on.
Yeah.
More
knows
like
more than you're allowed to, basically.
Knows what
like forbidden knowledge, kind of.
You shouldn't. How did that mess up? You shouldn't.
Okay. Finally, clubs. He's basically the Emperor card.
Okay.
So he's like the god of war.
Yeah, the Emperor.
Very strategic, very domineering, very forceful. And so he's like, he kind of gives strength, but often at the cause of like emotional, like at the cost of like sympathy or empathy for individuals.
That makes sense.
So,
like it's just like raw like leadership power, like maybe at the expense of others.
Yeah, or like the expense of the individual, at least. Like kind of like the what is it? The the means.
The ends justify the means.
Thank you. I was like,
I can tell you're trying so hard.
I'm literally trying so hard, Elliot.
Right.
Thank you.
I was considering going on a recap through all these, but I think you might die before we get to the end of that.
I literally might. But
so
yeah.
I think
if you have any questions, I can answer those.
I think you answered a lot of questions that I had when it came to Cartomancy, but if anyone else in the chat has any questions they'd like to ask about what we've gone through, feel free to ask while I take a look at who's online to raid. And while I look at that, what's up?
I feel like I was expecting, like, I don't know, like way less people to show up for this. Like, I thought this was gonna be like way too niche. And,
you know, cards and magic is real. Cards are cool, so like people just like to listen, you know. And I think it's really a cool kind of concept, especially with playing cards.
Very engaging, like as opposed to like a normal tarot stream. Like this is literally just you and me, like mostly me. Which I'm on your channel. I feel like
you came onto my channel to teach.
To teach you to
exactly.
To
I've had streams before where people teach me, and I like curl into a ball and cry. Like back when I used to do Japanese lessons, I had Satsuma Bimo. She came onto my stream. And I gave the lesson that I usually give, and then she started quizzing me on things, and I couldn't answer any of the questions, and then I just shriveled up into a corn cob and died.
Into a corn cob?
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's just, you just shrivel up into a corn cob.
Usually it's more like spaghetti falls out of my pocket.
Spaghetti falls out of your pocket. Yeah, spaghetti falling out of your pocket's also a pretty common one, too. It's not the greatest, but, like, sometimes you just gotta deal with the consequences of your actions. But that being said, I think we've gone for a good amount of time. We managed to go through the entire deck and talk about a bunch of other stuff. But I think it's about time to wrap up. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to raid into?
Let me see.
Anyone that you would like to send all these wonderful learners to? But anyways, while Zia looks, I will say that this is going to be my last stream for the rest of the week. I'm going to be going on a vacation, and I won't be back until Tuesday of next week. So it'll be a hot minute before I see you guys again. So don't forget about me in that time. And I will be on one off collab potentially on Monday next week. So just keep an eye out for that. It'll probably be Monday at 7 p.m. EDT, but I'll try to exist somewhat on like Twitter and everything so that people just don't think that I disappeared off the face of the earth for a week. But I will be having fun, and I'm sure that you guys will be able to have fun as well, even if I'm not here. But I'll see you guys in a week or so. And Zia, you have a bunch of stuff coming up this week, don't you?
Oh my god, I can't even get into it.
She's got a whole schedule going on. She's got a fun sleepover going on tomorrow at 7 p.m. EDT,
oh my god, I'm so excited.
Let me give her one more shout out.
The
girls. I feel like I can't even be in the chat.
No,
I feel like it would be.
You can't. It's a girls' night.
Girls only. I'll be open on an incognito window on a burner account that says absolutely a girl 562.
Yeah. No, it's okay, Elliot. Remember, you don't count.
Oh, of course. Anyway. So yeah, I don't have a lot going on. Zia has a lot going on. Anybody who's gotten the sleepover will be killed on sight. Immediately timeout. Just immediate timeout to anyone that you know is a male.
Immediate ban.
Ban forever.
I think we're doing it on Hess's. Hess's thing.
Somebody
anyway,
shoot this
I
guy.
suggest. I don't have anything, but I just want to bring up how funny it would be if we rated prayers from Abigail, coming in from our tarot stream. I think that would be really funny.
Is Abigail on?
She is.
Okay. God, that's such a power move.
I just think that would be really goddamn funny.
Because I don't know her well, and
I kind of know her.
Fuck it, we'll do it. Flash raid.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Okay, here we go.
Are we gonna say witchcraft raid? What's our raid message gonna be?
No, you will get banned if you say witchcraft raid.
God.
I don't know if you get banned. I don't know if she did that. But let's just say, like... Class time raid. Class time raid.
Okay.
Or something. Something along those lines.
Let's see, prayers from Abigail. I just wanted to make sure that I had her Twitch name right.
Yeah, we are not doing tarot readings right now.
Okay,
sorry.
wait. Well, when she asked what we were doing on stream,
just teaching.
We were doing a lesson on playing cards.
Yes.
About the history of playing cards.
History of playing cards.
All right,
yes.
that works.
All right, got that, chat? You guys all understand?
And yeah, that's fine. I don't even think we're gonna do a raid message. All right, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you again, Zia, for being on my channel.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure as always to talk to you.
Of course. And for now, class is dismissed. I'll see you guys all next week.